Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle once and for all.
500th episode Clean Slate Spectacular.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Hello, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
And I'm Hal Lublin.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, should you put ketchup on a hot dog?
Don't worry, people. We got this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? Are you ready to embark on this new adventure, Hal?
I'm very excited, Mark. And so it began.
That's how it began 500 episodes ago. My brother, I could not be happier to have reached this point with you.
I can't believe that we're still going.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years. Like, we get to celebrate episode 500 right now, which is very excited. But also, then we get to roll into our 10th year as a show. So this is like, we're in the season of celebration here at We Got
Amen, we are. Oh, yeah. We don't know what is going to happen tonight. All we know is that we sat down, as we usually do, at our usual time to enjoy one another's company. And we're doing that for the 500th time. That is not enjoying each other's company. We've enjoyed each other's company way more than those 500 times.
502.
502. Wait, what? How many did you say?
502. What were you going to say?
Like, I was going to say like 1 million.
Oh, can I change my answer?
To what?
503.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Felt good.
Did feel good. This feels good, Hal. 500 episodes feels good.
Did you think we'd make it to 500 when we started all those years ago?
Yes, because you are very good at the organization and keeping things going. You and Ken. If I was in charge of keeping a podcast going, we would have done one episode and I would have been still trying to figure out Libsyn.
I would never have made it. You'd still be perfecting it. You'd be like doing micro.
I'd be doing little micro tweaks. Sure. I'd be like, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
As you can hear from that sample, we did not wait. We were like, sounds like two people in tin cans. That was like Skype. I think we were doing that over.
Were we doing that? Because I listened to it and I was like, oh, what is this that we're doing here where Hal is being recorded and I'm calling in to make a request to his radio show or something? Because I really did sound like I was calling in on a phone.
Long time, first time.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Hal? Long time, brother.
That's right.
Long time.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to do a clean slate tonight. We don't know any of the topics going in. We don't have a guest. Ken has something prepared for us, which I'm so excited about. This show, can we talk about Ken Plume for a minute? And the fact
Let's do it. Please.
This show is produced by the most brilliant and tenacious and smart and funny producer that anyone could imagine. Our voices, you hear the two of us on this show. There are three voices that make this show. And those three voices are pretty much doing what we're doing on this show for the few minutes before and after and anytime we hang out.
Yeah.
It's just that we're the ones doing the show, doing the talking.
Before we started, when this was just an idea, I talked to Ken about it. He helped set us up with Apple Podcasts, like had relationships there. He was the one who encouraged us to have Mike Furman do the theme song and Jonathan, like everything that we've done. Not that these aren't talented people that we didn't like, but he was the one pushing us to ask. He would do.
Oh, I pushed hard against all of them.
You never wanted to ask anything. You hated all of them, but you come to hate them less.
Yeah, less, slightly.
I used to edit the show, and Ken would be like, why don't you give it to me so I can do passes on it to make it sound better? You don't hear that in that first episode because he was not actively doing it then. But before he became the official producer, every step of the way, he was offering help and guidance.
Yeah.
And now it's been official for a very, very long time. I mean, very, very early, he came aboard and now
this is like year 8 of Ken being the producer.
More
in year 9 of the show.
Almost, yes, that's right. Year 8, probably year 8 3/4.
Yeah,
if we're being honest. But everything. A big reason why this show continues to happen is because of Ken. He's always pushing, always wants us to do better. Has always been a huge cheerleader for the show, an advocate of the show, and including putting this together without really giving us any clue. Like, we talked about what this episode could be. We had a couple of ideas. We don't know what has happened. He's prepared this. I've talked to him a couple times this week, and each time he's been like, you have no clue what's happening, right? Nobody's told you anything. And I was like, I don't know. If you talked to Mark about it, nope. We have not talked about it one bit at all. So this is all going to be honest, real reactions to whatever you're about to hear. Should we kick it off?
We should, but I would also like to point out that for the first time ever on this show, this is how in the dark Hal and I are in this particular instance. Is Ken Plume before the show was just like, here's how this is going to work. There will be playback, and you boys are only allowed to talk after you hear the chimes.
Yeah.
So we've literally been given a cue for when we can go, because we don't know we have no idea what's going to happen here.
We're trained animals.
We know it's a clean slate. We know we have some surprises on the way. So shall we jump right into the clean slate?
Yeah, let's get our first topic. Let's do it.
All right.
Mark, Hal, it's Eric Edelstein. I love both of you. Congrats on your 500th episode. So damn cool. So damn rare. A lot of podcast partners break up way before 500. They sue each other. Gets nasty online. Not you guys. Like a fine wine, better with age. So much so that Jeff Baby asks, Italian ice, sherbet, sorbet, or gelato? And perhaps that should have been pronounced sherbet. Perhaps first you can answer, is it sherbet or sherbet? With much love from Jeff Baby and your pal, Eric.
Oh, this is great.
Eric.
What's up, Edelstein?
Oh my God. I've known Eric for 24 years.
Yeah, me
23
too.
years. 23. That's crazy.
2001.
Just the best. Came on the show, has been on the show multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best talented people you could ever imagine. And Jeffy
So
Baby
fun.
always getting topics on the show. This is
Jeffy
a lot of
Baby
people.
has great topics.
Yeah. Do you want to settle the second thing first? Because it's sherbet.
Yeah,
It is sherbet.
it's
It should be
sherbet.
sherbet.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be sherbet. It's sherbet. But it should also be orangutan, but it's not.
I know. Should we change
Isn't
it?
that
Do we have the
disappointing?
power?
Do we? Look, we have the power.
It's sherbet.
Yeah, it's
Let's
sherbet
change it.
and orangutan. We've now changed both of them.
Asked and answered for both of those. You can't
Great.
say orangutan.
Yeah.
It works really well with certain childhood rhymes that nobody should know. But also, of these four, it's really
Italian
just gelato and Italian ice, right? Those are the two. It's not
Yeah,
sherbet.
I mean, look, sherbet, sorbet,
Sorbet
and
now.
Italian ice all have one thing in common, which is a lack of dairy, right? The only
No,
one,
gelato's got dairy.
that's why I said Italian ice, sherbet, and sorbet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Those three all don't have dairy. I don't know.
Those
why I was
three are
thinking
all,
gelato.
yeah, fruit flavored ices.
Yeah.
Gelato is dense, creamy, rich Italian ice cream.
Yes.
I don't know how you can put ice cream on a list of other things and ice cream not win. It's like, hey, which do you like best? Pencil shavings, tree bark,
Or gold.
or gold? Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm not going to fight hard for Italian ice, even though obviously Italian ice, water ice, that's sort of the food of my hometown.
Yeah.
Gelato, I don't think I've ever had a bad first bite of gelato. I do feel like I get to a certain point in a gelato where I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, it's fine. It's good. I'm finishing it up. Italian ice has a couple layers. You have the initial, it's really cold. And then as it melts, you have sugar juice. So if you like sugar juice, It's great for the sugar juice. I just don't think it can beat gelato. I don't think there's any way, right?
No, there's no way it beats gelato. Also, a tip from an Italian friend about gelato. I'm sure I've said this on the show before. You always see in Italian gelato shops, you always see like the big, beautiful swirl of gelato in the bin.
Yeah.
Again, I think I've said this on the show before. We've done 500 episodes, Hal. I probably said everything at least once.
You said all your things.
I've said all my things, but she said, she was like, don't look for the big, beautiful swirl. Look for the one that's almost empty. Because that's the one that people go to that shop for.
Right.
Like if all of the bins are full except the pistachio, get the pistachio.
Right. Yeah. Usually the prettiest one, you're like, oh, what flavor is that? They're like horse.
Yeah.
It's not anything you want a creamy version of. Nobody's touching it, but it sure does look nice. I could film a commercial with it right now. So it is gelato, it's sherbet, and it's orangutan.
Yep. Asked and answer-tanged. All right. This is real dumb. Look, I'm just getting warmed up into this. All right. So Ken Plume, can we have, and thank you to Eric Edelstein. Yes. Again, I'm beginning to sense where this, what might be happening here. Ken, can we get another topic?
Paul and Storm here. Leslie Harkins asks, frozen pizza or shelf-stable DIY pizza kit? You like how we did that in unison?
Oh, I love Paul and Storm, and I love their voices so much.
Our first ever guests.
Yeah. God, those guys are precise.
What
was the topic on our first ever episode with that guest?
It was best Starburst flavor, I think was what it was. Because I remember Storm saying that yellow Starburst tastes like hair, which I disagree with. But it's
doodah.
Yellow Starburst tastes like, of course, everything is musical with the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, they were Coke versus Pepsi. That was a big one.
That was a big one.
Starburst. You know what it is? It's hard to keep track of what any episode is because of the non sequiturs, which I take full responsibility for. They're my favorite part. You'll never know. The clip for this week's episode that is posting, which is best location, like best place to consume a meal, like best place to sit and consume a meal. It's the whole thing is us talking about something. We're talking about Goofy. I'm talking about a Goofy movie with you. That's nothing to do with the topic.
Has nothing to do
whatsoever.
with the topic. Yeah, just like yellow Starburst tastes like hair.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Storm.
Well, thank you, Paul and Storm, for being our first guests ever. Thank you for playing with us at every possible opportunity that we all get to climb into the same sandbox. Leslie Harkins asks, frozen pizza or shelf-stable DIY pizza kit? I think there's some good frozen pizzas out there. The thing that bothers me about this, the DIY pizza kit, is shelf stable because there are ingredients that are in a pizza that are not shelf stable.
Right.
So if you said to me, would you like to try this shelf stable raw chicken? You can use it for cooking anything you want. I'd be like, you know what? No, thank you.
Yeah. That shelf better be cold.
Yeah.
It's going to have raw chicken. And also, what shelf?
And in a fridge.
Yeah. The cheese needs to be cold, right?
Yeah.
The sauce can be in a jar. That can be room temp. No problem. Once you open it, then you have to refrigerate after opening. Those are the rules. I don't make them. Then the dough, you either have a baked dough, which I guess could be in the bread section, but I think even like Boboli is in the frozen, isn't it?
Boboli's in the shelf stable section.
Oh, it's in the, okay. So you can get,
that's in the aisles.
Not even a kit. That's not a kit though. There's no kit.
I think they make a kit.
They do? Are they the only ones to make a kit?
Possibly.
Or
unless we're talking about the Lunchable kit. Because that is not a pizza.
Kit. Yeah, it's a rye crisp and a dot of sauce and some cheddar cheese. That's pizza, man.
I think, look, when you work in a pizza joint, you pull dough out of the freezer and thaw it frequently.
Yes.
So a lot of the pizzas that I've eaten in my life have begun with frozen dough. So I don't think there's much wrong with it. I mean, obviously a fresh pizza is better. I don't think there's anything wrong with a frozen pizza. I think there is one thing wrong with a shelf-stable pizza.
All the chemicals.
And that one thing is cheese is not shelf-stable.
Yes, it's true. It's not. It's not. Also, I think, like, I like to buy a refrigerated pizza dough, like where it's just a ball and then you make the dough shape.
Yeah,
do the fork.
Sure.
You do maybe a little oil or butter around the edge. You do the sauce how you like it. You put on the cheese that you want. We have a pizza stone. We'll do the pizza stone thing, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And you make a pizza and it's great. There's a lot that can go wrong when you make the pizza yourself. And if it's a DIY, shelf-stable DIY kit, really they're like, this isn't frozen. It doesn't take any less time. It's not, I guess you could, if you like a rainy day activity of making a pizza, it might be fun for you, but just get a frozen pizza. Unless
that's
you're
the thing,
Aaron Ginsberg, the director of Philly Adventure Hour, and incredible writer and great guy.
And brilliant pizza chef.
Yeah, he's a pizza chef. He puts things on a pizza I would never eat, but I admire that they exist and that he makes them. It's incredible. But he's not using shelf-stable kits. He's making it all.
No, I feel like a shelf-stable pizza kit is not made by a culinary company. It's made by a science kit company that sells their products at Barnes & Noble in that STEM section. Like, this would be like rock tumbler, make your own slime. Here's a shelf-stable pizza. Now you got a solar system.
It's the Dr. Pizza kit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's DK Books produces this, not Kraft.
Frozen pizza. That's easy. No DK Books pizza for anybody. We are outlawing that.
Yeah, though I bet that because I love me a DK book. DK books are my favorite. DK books are great. And now I'm picturing the exploded view of the pizza that shows all the different pathways you can walk around and little arrows that go to specific parts of the pizza and gives you little, did you knows?
The Vitruvian pizza that we've all longed for. Thank you, DK Books. But,
and thank you, Leslie Harkins. And thank you, Paul and Storm.
Yes, frozen pizza, asked and answered. Next topic, please.
Hey, wonderfuls. It's little Janet Varney. And I have a question from Cindy Wunderlich Weidman, who asks, paper or plastic? Happy 500th, my darlings. Also, we have some unfinished business involving a certain 00 and a certain 7. I think you know what I'm talking about. Let's make a date.
Oh. Janet Varney, one of our favorites.
Yes.
This is such a, it's like opening a present every question we get.
It is. Thank you to everybody who we have heard and not yet heard who took the time to record a little something for us. It means a lot, especially little JV, our pal, our
little
sister.
Janet Varney.
Our little sister. This is a good one. Paper or plastic, we're clearly talking about bags.
Bags at the grocery store.
Yeah. You know what the real answer is?
Bring your own.
Exactly. Bring your own bag.
Bring your own from the car. Yeah.
Bring your own bag.
You've got 30 of them in the back of your car right now.
You do. I nest them. I've made a bag, like Jennifer's got a nesting doll of bags in her car. I've got a nesting doll of bags in my car. Wherever I go, if I'm getting cold stuff, got a bag for it. If I'm getting just
hang on a second.
Yeah.
You go nesting for all of them? You don't one bag is the holder for all the other bags?
Well, yeah, of course, they're nesting. But sometimes a bag, no. Yes, that's true. It's not bag inside a bag inside a bag. I mean,
that would be nesting. That would be Matryoshka bags.
Yeah, no. Matryoshka. Yeah, it's just a bunch of folded or collapsed bags inside of the largest bag.
Gotcha. You go with the largest bag for me, I want it as compact. I want it as compact as possible. I use the smallest bag and I fold everything up a lot.
I have a bag that I think is too big for that. I will show it to you. You're coming over on Friday. I will show it to you. I am,
yeah. Okay.
All right. So bring your own bag.
Bring your own bag. But
if you have to.
This is the binary choice of paper or plastic. Well, I think that it's funny that this comes up now because just last night on the news, I was hearing about California is going to ban even the thicker, stronger plastic bags. For those who don't know, in California, the thin plastic bags were banned in 2010, somewhere around then.
Right.
So what we get are for 10 cents a piece, thicker, recyclable, because the other ones weren't recyclable, thicker, recyclable, reusable plastic bags.
Yeah.
But even those, I have bad news. It turns out most of those are not being recycled. They're just winding up in the trash. And because they're bigger and thicker, they're making even more of a problem. So I feel like paper's the hands down winner on this, on the environmental issues of it, on the pure logistics in California that we won't be able to get plastic one soon. And also they're way better as a recycling thing that sits next to the trash can because I don't have a separate recycling trash can.
Yeah.
The paper bag stands upright. You can just get a little punch it on the sides and it'll stay solid for you. It's like a free trash can that they give you when you go grocery shopping.
Yeah. And the reason I think those the stronger ones aren't being thrown away is because they're being used as trash bags. You put them in like an office, like a paper bin, something like that, and they get used and you go, well, I'm not going to keep, I threw a coffee cup in here or something. I can't recycle that, or something. Something has been thrown in that is not recyclable or is food. So you're not going to clean the plastic, though some people might. You're not going to clean the plastic bag to recycle it. So in that case, paper would win. But the real answer is bring your own bag. It's worth the investment. If you've given to public television, you got a grocery bag ready to go. Almost every grocery store you go to sells them, and it's worth the investment. It pays off long run, and it's good to have for not only for when you go shopping, but for other stuff. You're bringing stuff to a friend's house, you're going to a picnic or the beach.
What does your favorite bag have written on it?
I have a Trader Joe's canvas bag that has pickles on it, like a jar of pickles on it. That's real fun. I like that.
Just like a picture of a jar of pickles on it?
Yeah, it's like it's somehow pickle based graphics. That one's my favorite. What's yours?
Sure. I have one that I got in Paris when I was on that trip with my mom that is a Toulouse-Lautrec painting on the side of a canvas bag.
Oh, that's
very excited about that one. I also love the Maximum Fun one. Shout out to our network, Maximum Fun. Can we hit pause and talk about Maximum Fun now?
Yes,
that we've been doing this for 500 episodes. Yeah, I know. It feels like a very long acceptance speech at an awards show. But I just want to say, we love everyone at Maximum Fun. What a family, what a company, what a group of brilliant humans that let us come in and play and have been nothing but accommodating and kind and energetic and enthusiastic for the show this whole time. So special thanks to Travis McElroy, who's the reason why we were connected to Max Fun. And then Jesse Thorne, who you were in New York, but I went and had lunch with him. We went to Langer's together and met with him. I was I didn't know what the meeting was going to be. I knew that we had been recommended, and he was like, yeah, we'd love to have the show as part of the network. And then we were off and running. We looked at we kicked the tires on a few different places, and this just felt like the right fit. And the entire family of podcasts and all of the amazing people that we've met and had on the show and been on their shows is just an endless list. Yeah.
So thank you all. And thank you, Max Fun, for being our home for the last 8+ years.
And also thank you, Max Fun, for giving me my other favorite canvas tote bag. I know you've got this one as well, Hal, which is, of course, Maximum Bag. Yes. I love my Maximum Bag. The Maximum Bag is a 3x5 tote bag. And I mean 3 feet by 5 feet.
Big bag.
It's the single largest tote bag I've ever held in my hands, and
in history.
You can fit all of your groceries in it. Could you imagine just trying to carry that?
Yeah,
you could fit a grocery store in it.
Fill this up for me. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go. And then you fill it up, and
however many apples you can fit in a bag is what you get at this apple picking at this orchard. Okay, I'll see you guys.
When I get my next car, I'm going to put it in that bag to take it home so it doesn't get hurt on the way. You always hear like people drive off the lot and get hit. That won't happen when you put it in the bag.
No, because you're going to put it in the bag. Yeah. All right. So thank you to Cindy Wunderlich and thank you to Janet Varney. The answer is paper.
CWW, we appreciate it. And LJV, we appreciate it. You call for the next one. Go ahead. You take the honors.
No, you call for the next one.
All right. What's the next topic?
Hi, this is Mark McConville congratulating Mark Gagliardi and Hal Lublin on 500 episodes of We Got This. Here's to 500,000 more. You two have a lot of recording to do. Now, Tyler Pace would like to know, home fireworks or public fireworks? Please answer this question immediately. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Mark McConville. I love Mark McConville.
Easy mini topic. Is Mark McConville one of the funniest people on the planet Earth?
Yes. Hands down.
So good.
So fast, so funny.
Great guest.
He was one of the first friends that I made working at Disneyland years and years ago. 2005, I started there, and McConville and I became buddies. Love that dude. Thank you, McConville.
Thank you, Mark. We really appreciate it.
And I can't believe he whooped up on me as badly as he did in last week's fantasy football game.
Well,
I got really whooped by Mark McConville. He's very good at fantasy football.
He knows his sports.
He knows his sports inside out. He's a Minnesota sports fan, knows everything.
He knows it all.
You know who else knows almost everything?
Yeah.
That's Tyler Pace. There's one thing Tyler Pace does not know, and it is whether or not home fireworks beat public fireworks. I feel like public fireworks end in applause and home fireworks end in emergency rooms.
You know, I don't think I've ever showed you this, Mark. I will at some point. But when I first moved out here, my friend Nathan was out here as well from college. He worked as an editor, and that put him on the tape trading circuit, which was a very big deal. That's how you got stuff before YouTube, like all the viral, all the found footage festival. That stuff was circulating in LA as part of tape trading. So he had a tape that was all rejected submissions to America's Funniest Home Videos. And they ranged the gamut from ridiculously sad to ridiculously hilarious to who thought that somebody's genitalia popping out of their boxer shorts while they were practicing their golf swing would somehow make it onto ABC at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night in 1992. But one of them is somebody had stored fireworks in their detached garage, and they're going off and it like shooting into the streets, and they're watching it explode. And you see at a certain point, it edits to, you can see the flashing lights of a fire truck, and you hear a guy go, I don't know where the kids are. Like, that's home fireworks for you. That's the worst it can go. I feel like the worst public fireworks will go is that one time in San Diego when all of the fireworks went off at once, and
that was so great.
So good.
Oh, so
Nobody
funny.
got hurt.
No, nobody got hurt. They just got a very bright sky for a little while.
Yeah, for 3 seconds, if that.
Yeah, I love a good fireworks show. And I think for me, that's part of it. I love a good fireworks show. I have grown up watching. In Knoxville, Tennessee was famous for Boomsday every summer. We had the biggest fireworks show in the Southeast. Boomsday, U102.7. Yeah. And they would get pop singers to come and play, and then bands. You know, it was great. It was a whole festival, and it culminated in this crazy fireworks display. That is a good fireworks show. I go to Disney World. I look at the castle or at Illuminations. That is a good fireworks show. Have you ever been to someone's house when they were like, I'm going to set off some fireworks, and left thinking like, man, what a well-crafted fireworks show that was.
Yeah, it had everything. The build was good. There were little breaks. It was set to music. Yeah, you don't get that. You don't get that.
Not at all. About the only thing you get is that you don't get at a big public fireworks show is the dud run. You know, where somebody has to run up because one went out, and you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't get him.
Yeah, and there's not like a real show. It's just like it's not like this next one sits in a bottle before you sit it off. It's really like I got 2 of these more to do. I do remember the first 4th of July I can ever remember, Northeast Philly on Rutland Street, where I spent my younger years, and we had a neighbor. We would all gather in these rural homes. We'd gather, and there's one guy who would set off fireworks, and one of them were these lanterns. They would fire to the sky, and then a full lantern would float down. And I got one and kept it. I thought that was the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Brilliant.
That was when I was 5 years old. That was the apex. And to be honest, no fireworks show I've seen since has come close to seeing a lantern descend from the sky. Like, even public fireworks shows are fine. At a certain point, I go, I get it. Like, I'm looking at my watch. If you go more than 5 minutes, I'm looking at my watch because you don't have anything else in the tank. I'm going to see the same thing again in different colors. Like, I want to, like, at 5 minutes, I'm like, let's take it home. Let's do the one where it goes like all over the place. That's just,
I think I can take a long fireworks show if it's paired with music. I like one that's paired with music, and then like, oh, now they're going to slow it down a little. So it's just going to be like one little firework.
Now they're playing Sailing by Christopher Cross.
Yeah, exactly. I want there to be a brief pause in my fireworks show so it looks like that The More You Know they used to play on Saturday mornings. Just one little shooting star across the sky. And then boom goes the dynamite again. Give me another big explosion. You know what I would love? Here's what I would love, Hal. And this, there are a few things in the fireworks world that you cannot do when you are a home fireworks display. You can't get the great big one that goes and then has the little sparkly bits at the end. You can't do a sparks waterfall. You can't do all these big things. But there are small fireworks things that you can't do if you are a big fireworks show. And I would love to see those scaled up. Could you imagine a scaled up version of that thing that just when you light it, it looks like a tremor coming out of the ground, or like an earthworm, or like the sandworm from Beetlejuice? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
You light it and it goes like, and it just like makes a cone of ash that looks like a snake coming out of the ground. I would watch a huge version of that. I would watch a huge version of, you know, that one firecracker that you nail to a fence and then it spins.
Yeah, you want to see
Come
that.
on, man. Like a giant version of that. They actually have a giant version of that at the Hollywood Bowl. That's amazing.
See?
That they put up on the roof. Yeah. It's public fireworks. Yeah.
Public fireworks show, asked and answered. That is it. Thank you to Mark McConville. Thank you to Tyler Pace. Mark, you want to lead us into the next one?
Ken, you want to give us the next one?
Hello, Cecil Baldwin here. Congratulations on your 500th episode. I remember getting to sit on a panel with you guys on the Joko cruise where we had a very controversial soup or salad question. It was so much fun. But for right now, Craig Rogers asks, what is the best seat at the movies? Front, middle, or back?
Cecil.
Oh, Cecil. And a question from Craig Rogers, one of my dear friends.
Oh, this is very kind. I love this whole, everything about this question then. Cecil Baldwin, thank you for coming and being a part of the show.
Yes.
We loved having you on. Cecil Baldwin is one of the lost tapes.
No, Joseph Fink was the lost tape.
Joseph Fink was the lost.
Cecil was the only one that survived. We lost Jeffrey and we lost Joseph.
Yeah. We had Jeffrey Craner, Joseph Fink, and Cecil Baldwin from Welcome to Night Vale all at once. We were on tour with the show.
We were in New York. Yeah.
Was this in? Yeah, this was in New York
City. Yeah.
And Hal had just gotten this new recorder. We recorded Jeffrey, and then he recorded over Jeffrey with Joseph, and then he recorded over Joseph with Cecil.
You know, I love my dad, but one of the things I picked up from him was not reading instruction manuals and just figuring it out. And guess what? That wasn't the way to go. But Cecil, dear friend, one of my favorite scene partners.
So
of all
fun.
time. I love doing Night Vale with him, getting to do those live shows. It's so much fun to play off of him and to have a relationship with it. Like, just what a great guy.
Yeah.
What a great friend. And so happy to have him reading this topic from my buddy Craig.
And Craig asks, best seat at the movies, front, middle, or back? It's not the front.
It's not the front, 100% not the front.
There's a reason that whenever you go online now, a lot of movie theaters reserve the seats. If you reserve too late, it's always the front two rows that are empty.
Yeah, you see,
and frequently I'll be like, well, I'm not going to go sit there, so I'll just go to a different showing.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I will not go to the movie if that's the seat. Sometimes I'll just be like, I'll just wait till next weekend. I'll get you back later, bro. We'll just see it another time. It's fine. I do think I like the back just because there's nobody sitting behind me to make noise. Like, most of the noise you're going to hear is going to come from behind you. You'll hear that as opposed to people in front of you, I feel like, a little bit more. But middle's probably the best for being immersed in the movie.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. For outside factors, maybe the back row. For like all of the outside factors equal the back row being the best. You not got people breathing down your neck. If you're taking a date there and you want to make out, nobody talks about making out in the middle row of the movie theater.
What is it, lookout point for you?
Yeah. I don't like giving anything to my back. As an Italian, I always sit in the back row, make sure I can see all the exits.
Yeah, somebody might try to whack you during the previews for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 4.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just in here enjoying The Croods 3, and then Johnny Fingers comes in here and makes a bloodbath out of the AMC. But that aside, the back row you lose something in that the screen for you is the smallest that it is for anyone in that theater.
Feels like a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the middle. The middle's like the sound. You get the best sound. Like you get the best sort of surround sound happening. It's not too loud in any one place. It's my favorite is the front right corner or front left corner of stadium seating, like the first level up, because you usually have a bar in front of you. You can put your feet up on. But nowadays, so many more seats are the recliners that doesn't really matter. So I would sit in oddly, I think the middle of the best seats. I tend to like to sit in those seats I mentioned or in the back. Like just because I don't, that way there are fewer people walking in front of me too. Like if you get the right seat in the very back, no one's coming up there. They're going to go somewhere else. That's the whole thing. It's like people come in late. I don't want them anywhere near me. Like stay away. Don't walk in front of me. You should lay down on the ground. You should have to crawl like a soldier. You should have to crawl in front of people.
If you're late.
You get down on the floor with you, lady.
Have you ever picked your seat based on the movie you were seeing? Like, oh, I can sit in the back row for this. This is a family drama. But if it's a Marvel movie, I'm going to sit closer so I'm more immersed in the big, fantastical blockbusterness of it all.
No, I always try to get the same seat because I know they're good, except
that front right corner of the stadium section.
So the first section up, there is a theater near my dad's place out here, where we went to see the Marvels. We went to see it in the big theater that, they have one giant theater and then the rest of them are decent sized. And I got the normal seats knowing like in my home theater out here where Jennifer and I live, like those are the best seats. It's so comfortable. Nobody's sitting near you. Like you feel sort of isolated in a good way. And the seats were terrible. And he would not shut up about it the whole weekend. Like, who sits in those seats? Those are terrible seats. I'm not letting you pick the seats anymore. In fact, we went to see the Marvels a second time and sat in better seats. And he was like, I actually liked that movie. I think it was the seats you chose. Like,
oh my gosh.
If it comes up, he will bring it up. I'm sure he'll listen to this episode. Dad, drop it. You don't know. You come out to my home theater. I'll show you how good those seats are. And I was fooled by the people at Cinemark. They fooled me. Middle.
Why the side? Wait, I want to go back.
I like that in the aisle seat.
Okay, but it doesn't bother you the screen being the distortion?
No, there's no distortion. It's not. I mean, I'm not sitting on the edge of Soren.
That's fair. You're not getting the bent Eiffel Tower from Soarin' over California or Soarin'
Yeah, and I'm
World.
not looking at the girders that hold everything up in the building on the other side. So yeah, it is middle.
It's in the middle.
I bet you those are the seats you like, Craig. I don't know. You can text me and tell me if you agree. Thank you to Craig and to Cecil for both, for being part of my life and for being part of the show and being part of our 500th episode.
Heck yeah.
Next topic, Ken.
Hello, Mark and Hal. Joseph Scrimshaw here. Happy 500 episodes, and I'm so sorry that podcasts don't get syndication residuals. Karen Mosler Grantham asks, best way to carry your important items with you? Wallet, purse, backpack, satchel, fanny pack, or briefcase? And here's a question of my own. Out of all of the Marks and Hals that exist in the multiverse, who are the best Mark and Hal?
Ooh, do you want to answer the second one first?
Sure. These are versions of us that exist out in the multiverse. Not like Hal Prince and Mark Harmon.
Oh, that might be what he's asking.
No, he's asking. I know Joseph. A good friend.
No, he did say in the multiverse. Comedian,
and also a great filmmaker. I've been honored to be part of 2 of his films at this point, and he's brilliant. Grow as a creator.
Here's what I think is brilliant about Joseph Scrimshaw is that he can take a topic that is niche and he can make an audience that doesn't care about that topic care about that topic. Yep. He is so good, and like he is whatever the opposite of a gatekeeper is, that's Joseph Scrimshaw. He wants everybody to be the fan of the world that he is.
Yes.
And it's so fun.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And hilarious, just like great not only just funny to talk to and warm and charming, but like from a technical perspective, understands comedy so well and executes it at a really high level. And it's just impressive to watch. And you pair that with his work ethic and you get the number of things and the variety of things that he's worked on and continues to work on. And just if he tells me he's going to do something, I know he's going to do it. Like I never doubt it. I'm excited for it to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us the best Mark in Hell. We're so nice. Yeah. Who's nicer than us?
Nobody. That's this. Yeah. That's in this. If we are in the multiverse, the Mark and Hal on Earth, what is it?
616.
We're Earth 616.
Yeah.
Mark and Hal, the us. Yeah. As Voltaire said, we live in the best of all possible worlds.
Oh, Voltaire. Yeah. You never thought you'd hear that on this podcast.
Yeah, you didn't think you'd hear Voltaire, but really it's just a quote from the musical of Candide. Come on, man. We've met.
That's true.
You really think I'm going to come on here and quote the Bible or Jesus Christ Superstar?
I'm sorry, sir. I forgot your game. I apologize. What's the best way to carry your important items with you? We got wallet, purse, backpack, satchel, fanny pack, or briefcase. It's not briefcase.
Okay. I think we can go through, since this is a clean slate. This is one that might warrant a full topic.
Oh, that's true.
We'd been talking about something similar, a similar topic. Maybe we could put all of them, or look, I don't know. But for purposes of this, this is just in this moment, flash decision. I think the best way to do this will be to eliminate them one at a time. Wallet, purse, backpack, satchel, fanny pack, briefcase. Do you want to eliminate first? And then we'll discuss when we get down to two.
The briefcase, because it is no longer, I think the 80s was the last time the briefcase was really something you were using regularly, maybe into the 90s, but it's not. We don't need that anymore. There's no need.
No. The only people who carry briefcases now are Marcellus Wallace and Elwood Blues in my brain.
And everybody in a Wes Anderson movie, they all have briefcases.
Yes, they all have very twee briefcases and
100%.
No socks and pants that are too short.
None.
So, okay, you're eliminating briefcase. I'm going to eliminate the fanny pack. No, I'm going to eliminate the satchel.
Okay.
Because, man, satchel is the over the shoulder, right? I do like those. Dang. No, I'm going to eliminate the fanny pack.
Oh man.
Eliminating the fanny pack. Yeah, because I love a fanny pack. I enjoy it. I have one. It's the perfect size, but its popularity and its fashion is so volatile. The fashion stock of the fanny pack is too volatile a stock for me to purchase. Sure. If I'm looking at my particular, I'm risk averse in my carrying stuff portfolio.
Sure.
That's a volatile stock.
I'll go next. I'm going to eliminate the wallet because I think the wallet is one of the important items that you carry with you.
Oh.
Because, you may have items of a personal nature that will not fit in a wallet. Your phone, for example. Your keys, for another example. A book you are reading. Personal effects.
Yeah.
Cosmetic or medicine, things like that. Those simply cannot fit in a wallet. So by its nature, a wallet would be among the items it cannot contain itself. We are not in that universe. So I will.
No, that's true. So we now have 3 left, purse, backpack, and satchel. I am going to eliminate the purse because if I'm looking at the backpack and the satchel, I think that the purse is just another name it's just a narrower name for a satchel. Just like a bag with a strap over the top.
Yeah.
Unless you are a clutch purse, which is useless. You might as well just carry your stuff in your hand. Yeah. Because there's no strap, no handles. Come on, guys.
Man, women, like anybody who is in the purse wearing, high heel wearing, pants without pockets wearing community, there's been so much short shrift. If you enjoy wearing those things and that's you exercising agency, more power to you. Yeah. But I feel like we're in an age where we're starting to maybe produce clothes that are a little bit more fair and functional for the people who wear them. And sometimes the clutch is well, you can't carry a big purse with this outfit because we've deemed that it's not appropriate to do it. But why not have a satchel? I'll eliminate the backpack, by the way. It's because anytime you want to go into the backpack, what do you have to do? You have to either
Flip
take
it around.
one strap, swing it around, or you have to take them both off. The satchel, you can just move forward, or you can reach in the side like Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
Indiana Jones doesn't carry a backpack.
He carries a satchel. Man, a satchel I almost eliminated. I can't believe I did that. And look at it. It just won.
Yeah.
The satchel just won. Asked and answered.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, what a roller coaster that satchel went on just now.
Seriously. And it can hold a roller coaster if it's the Max Fun version.
That Max Fun one can hold a roller coaster. I actually carry one with me if I'm going to a park that doesn't have a roller coaster.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine, Universal. Keep building your Fast and Furious. I can set this one down myself. Oh gosh, there's a queue forming.
I should have charged for this. This would have been
I
a real
really should
opportunity
have.
for me. Thank you to Joseph and to Karen for that topic.
Yes, super fun, and more something similar maybe coming down the pike later. We might be able to, we may need to revisit. But in the meantime, have we taken a break? Do we need to take a break?
There are no breaks here.
There are no breaks here.
We're doing this for 500 hours, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Tee us
All
up,
right.
buddy.
I can do it. If you can do it, I can do it, Hal. Ken, what do we got?
Hello, Mark and Hal. It's your old friend Sam Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain. It feels crazy that you've had 500 episodes and have never had me once on the podcast, when you've had people like Craig Kikowski multiple times. Well, it feels apropos that I, Mark Twain, am asking you this topic for Clean Slate. E.J. Salazar asks, Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer?
Oh, Craig Kikowski. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say Craig Kikowski. Mr. Twain. Mr. Clemens.
Mr. Twain. Samuel Clemens.
Samuel Langhorne Clemens.
Yeah, we appreciate your work. We're sorry we've had Craig on so much, but he is a brother to us and one of my
can you
favorite
blame
people to just hang out with.
Yeah.
You would have, if you had a show, Mark Twain, aka Samuel Longhorn Clemens,
Longhorn is a steak place that lets you
that's
throw
right.
peanut shells
By
on
the
floor.
way, Samuel Longhorn Clemens is cleaning it up in the steak industry. Samuel Langhorne Clemens, all you have is an area in Pennsylvania named for you that's near Sesame Place. Boo.
Hal, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
I just have to say this out there so that it has been said, so that I don't forget it later. Remember last week when you asked me if I had my Halloween costume yet?
Yeah.
Pretty sure Samuel Longhorn Clemens is about to become my Halloween costume.
I'm so excited.
To the white suit store.
And the steakhouse.
That's right. Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer? You've read both?
Yes. Read them for school. I assume you did as well.
I did.
I mean, as books, Huckleberry Finn is a little bit more problematic than Tom Sawyer is. I mean, heavily problematic.
Yeah, the language is problematic. I don't think the sentiment of it is
not
is
necessarily
problematic.
as bad.
Yeah, but Tom Sawyer's got its problems too with, Clemens is dropping N-bombs left and right throughout, Huckleberry Finn, but he's got, Injun Joe in, Tom Sawyer. So,
Sure.
But the sentiment, I think, of Tom Sawyer, I think is great, is a classic of American literature written by an absolute genius writer, but Tom Sawyer is kind of a jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he tricks other kids into doing his work for him.
Yeah. The story of Huckleberry Finn is such a beautiful story of a kid creating his own version of morality. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
that arc of Huck Finn, because he has been taught if he does this, he'll go to hell. And then in the end for Huck Finn to say, if this feels like justice, if I'm going to go to hell, he's like, if doing justice means I'm going to go to hell, I guess that's what I have to do. Like, if the only way to be good is to be bad, I guess I have to be bad. I think that book is a masterpiece.
There is a reason why in school you tend to read Tom Sawyer first. And then when you get a little older, you read Huckleberry Finn because the concepts are a little bit more to wrestle with and go a little bit deeper. But Tom Sawyer almost feels like this is what it was like growing up in Hannibal, Missouri. And like it's a little bit more of a slice of life. Whereas this is, like you said, somebody discovering what it means to have morality, that it's not necessarily something that somebody else legislates to you, that it's something you figure out. We all have the ability to figure out what's right and wrong on our own.
And I think the characters in Huck Finn are a lot of fun. I mean, it's just, I think that's the winner.
Huckleberry Finn. Yeah. Asked and answered.
Also, the musical Big River is really good.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Did you think that the guy who was quoting Voltaire via Candide was going to stay literary and not go towards the light that is Roger Miller's classic Broadway musical that starred a pre-fame John Goodman, by the way, as Pappy Finn?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's Big River. By the way, it took me a second to figure out it was Craig. That's how good Craig is, by the way.
It took me a second too. Yeah. You know what he sounded like? He sounded like the Mark Twain from, the animatronic in Epcot.
I'm sure that's what he's basing it. Either that or he's basing it off of Val Kilmer / Hal Holbrook.
Yeah.
Hal Holbrook's performance, which I saw live. I saw Hal Holbrook do it live and it was.
I saw Hal Holbrook do it live.
Boring. And I like Mark Twain. I didn't go into going, who's Mark Twain? I went into it and saw it like, I was excited to see an actor do this. And then I was just watching a self-indulgent cigar smoke for what felt like 3 days. Just maybe I wasn't the right audience for it at that point.
I think I wasn't the right age for it when I saw
it. Yeah.
Wonderful actor.
I wasn't 80 yet. Anyway.
Yeah, I think I was like 13.
Yeah, that's not the age to see it.
Yeah, no. Can we just switch the channel to the one that comes in blurry and squiggly? Yeah. No, watch your Holbrook. All right. Ken. Oh, sorry. It's your turn, Hal.
Oh, okay.
Tee it up.
Ken, tee it up.
Hey, guys. Congratulations on 500 Episodes. It's Jesse Thorne, that is.
Aww.
And Craig Rogers asks, best scrambled egg approach, high heat quickly or low heat slowly? And I ask, lacrosse or high-a-lie? Congratulations again, guys. You're the best.
Oh, that warms my heart. We love you, Jesse. Thank you so much.
Great guest.
Great guest. Person. Best boss we could imagine. Great dude.
Absolutely.
Love Jesse Thorne. More Craig Rogers questions.
Craig's all over
let's do Jesse's first. Let's do Jesse's question first.
Okay.
Lacrosse or high-a-lie?
Both dangerous.
Both dangerous. Both fast pace.
Yes.
I've never actually seen a full game of high-a-lie. My school had a lacrosse team. It was all of the guys that would have played soccer if not for their ponytails. That was the lacrosse team where I went to school. They were great. They were all great athletes, great dudes, lots of fun. So I've seen lacrosse. High-a-lie, I only know about from my friend's husband who would come back. It was like, oh, he's coming back from high-a-lie. And he would come back and regale stories of his high-a-lie experience. So I've witnessed one of these, and the other one I have experienced only through a very skilled raconteur. So in my mind, high-a-lie, like, municipal local high-a-lie games are played in a stadium atop a mountain.
Right.
With lights and lasers and the heart of the losing team cut out, which I think was how high-a-lie used to be, right?
Yeah, I think.
Wasn't it the Aztec game?
Lacrosse, I think lacrosse too also was that. Well, there are a lot of interesting origins to these sports, but lacrosse is a great combination of ice hockey, field hockey, and soccer / football.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just it requires crazy hand-eye coordination. And I say this partially because I have I have a cousin who is a high level lacrosse player. So I want to support that to support him. But also I think as a sport, it's much more interesting. I think the best version of high-a-lie is that game from Tron where they have the
scoop disc
and they throw the light. Yeah. That's like the best version of that. So
high-a-lie seems super dangerous too. Like that ball it's
fast.
It's fast and it's hard and it's heavy.
I mean, You've seen on Jackass where they use the highlight players throwing oranges at them.
No.
You ever seen that? And they're wearing like the bruises are epic. It's
of course they are.
I mean, of all the things you can think of, let's have a highlight play because that ball, the ball's too hard. The ball would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous. I feel like there are more highlight deaths than lacrosse deaths in the last couple centuries. Not going all the way back.
So can that just be our reason why lacrosse is the winner of this? Fewer deaths?
I think lacrosse as a team sport is it's more interesting to me. I think any sport is impressive to watch played.
Sure.
But I think I would pick lacrosse. I think it is probably an easier sport to understand because it echoes so many pieces of existing sports.
Yeah. Lacrosse.
Yeah.
Asked and answered. Okay, thank you for that, Jesse Thorne. And thank you for asking Craig Rogers' question. Yeah. Best scrambled egg approach, high heat quickly or low heat slowly?
I mean, maybe I don't want to answer a question with a question, but I'm going to. Do you hate eggs? Because if you do, you'll fire that heat up all the way and cook it really fast. You will overcook the eggs, no doubt. Like you can go low medium at most, but if you're using butter in the pan, you're going to brown the butter. That's like a whole thing. You want to heat the butter and have it sizzle without browning, and you have to keep it at a low temperature to do that. And I don't think you would find any chef, most notably Gordon Ramsay, who has a very specific way of making eggs, that would tell you to do anything other than low heat. It does not take long for an egg to cook. What do you think?
No. I 100% agree. Maybe the only time to do scrambled eggs high heat fast is if you are slammed at the diner and making row after row of breakfast burrito where the eggs on the inside, it doesn't matter if they just need to get inside the thing. But if you're having proper scrambled eggs, I'm with you all the way. Low and slow, butter in there, more butter than is probably healthy. And just like what I do is, I do it low and slow and I start stirring it immediately. Mm-hmm. I'm a chopsticks guy for when I stir it while it's in the pan.
It's a high level method.
Yeah. Whatever gets you there, but to keep them moving, just keep them moving the whole time. You'll get them creamier. You'll get them, they'll be more unctuous. And you will get them it's like making risotto but really fast. You'll get them to the consistency that you're like, that feels right. And half a second before that moment, take them off.
That's right.
Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Listen, man. I like that we both are like, listen, you got to respect those scrambled eggs, man.
Yeah. It's my favorite food.
Is your favorite food is scrambled eggs?
Since I was a kid, I still do love scrambled eggs very much. Other things have probably joined it in the pantheon, in the Mount Olympus of foods I enjoy. But scrambled eggs was my first love.
The problem with those scrambled eggs being on Mount Olympus is that it's hard to get that little gold laurel on them.
It is. It keeps sliding off.
Keeps sliding off. It's easier to put that little gold laurel on a turkey leg, which I assume is also on your pantheon.
I do. I do. Ooh, is it? I gotta think about. We'll do a special show one time.
Hal's Pantheon.
The pantheon of foods. We'll do that.
Deal. Thank you to Craig Rogers. Thank you to Jesse Thorne. Best scrambled eggs approach, low heat slowly. Asked and answered. All right, let's do another one. How many more of these do we have, Ken? Like, we've been going for a little while now. I could go all night with these. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah, I'm not done. Let's find out.
Great. Give us our next topic, if you will, good sir.
Hello, Mark and Hal. It's Bill Corbett wishing you a very happy 500th anniversary. My goodness, you have gotten so many things for us all. So thank you for getting this or having gotten this or continuing to get things for us. You've settled a lot of important questions of our time. Here's one more that I am going to ask you from Nicole Markovitz Ansel. And Nicole asks, best time to exercise, early in the morning, the middle of the day, or before bedtime? I would add my own option, never, but that's not the question here. Nicole says, best time to exercise, early in the morning, middle of the day, or before bedtime. Please get this. And again, congratulations, guys. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bill.
Oh, we love Bill.
We love Bill. Bill so Corbett fun. And Bill in Virginia. The Corbetts are a powerhouse team in the Ken Plume trivia verse. Powerhouse team.
And by the way, like, we're very lucky that the people we've had on the show over the years, whether we knew them beforehand or not, were not only spectacular guests, but just good people to spend time with. And the Corbetts fit that bill. Like, just such a pleasure to sit and talk with them. And Bill is so funny and so smart and just so warm and, like, could talk to him about anything. And that's like the measure of a very good friend. And no matter how much time passes, if we send messages to each other, I'm always so happy and grateful to have the Corbetts in my life. Also grateful to have Nicole Markovitz, who I've known since 1989 in my life. But I think the show
this
is
is amazing
by people who I know personally.
Yeah,
Thank goodness I'm not a complete introvert, because we would be doomed. Nobody would listen to the show.
I know. Thank God for Nicole Markovitz, Ansel. I'm assuming you just said Nicole Markovitz. So, and I was like, oh, you've known Nicole Markovitz since pre-Ansel.
She was, yes, I remember her phone number because we talked on the phone all the time when we were 12. We were good buddies. And I've met her husband, who is the nicest guy. Like, we had lunch with them years ago. Kids, like, she's all grown up and a really, really talented artist. If you're not following her, you should. You can find her stuff out there. It's well worth it. What do you think, Mark? I have an opinion on this, but I want to know what yours is.
I am team wake up in the morning and work out, because I feel like if there are the other times that are the options on this, it can interrupt a flow. You know what I mean? Like, middle of the day, you can interrupt the flow of whatever you're doing. If you're like, I got to get my workout in now. You never know where you're going to be at that certain point in the day. Evening is the same thing. There's always stuff happening in the evening. I feel like the morning, and I'm talking early, like, you've been going out every morning and doing your walks. It's like, this is the time of day when I know nothing else is going to get in the way.
Yeah, I think also I'll add to that the later in the day you do it, the more of a chance there is that you may not do it, because it breaks up flow and because you've put it off. The best thing, and I did not believe this for a very long time, and again, credit to my wife, Jennifer, who has been pushing for this for a long time, and now that I'm doing it, it bothers me when I don't. I get up early. I've done, like, my workout. I've done all my exercising by the day before 7:30 a.m. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I have more energy for the rest of the day. I get to bed better at night and a little earlier, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just gives you fuel for the whole day. And that's always a really good thing. It's like it's not something that you regret doing by and large. So,
and I think something you said in there too is a huge factor for me, which is the later the day goes, the less the chance that I'm going to work out, which I'm so guilty of not going and just having a gym membership.
Right.
And not using it. And I never get rid of it because I want to hold on to it, because I don't want to lose it. You know what I mean? And I want it to be there for me to go to, but it's the same thing. Every morning alarm goes off. It's like, do I want to get up? And you know what? I'll do it later in the day. And if I don't get up right then and do it, I don't,
right.
Then later in the day, I'm like, I'll go do it later in the day. And then the evening comes around and maybe I'll do it in the evening. And then I just don't do it. Which is why for me, it's about signing up for classes. So frequently the classes will be all different times throughout the day.
Right.
But if I'm having my choice, I want that class first thing in the morning. Give me the 7 a.m. class and then I'm out by 8,
Yep. 100%. It really, like, if it's not something you've done before and you want to do it, try to commit to one day. Mm-hmm. And then after you've done it once, try to commit the next day. Like, you can only do it one day at a time. And then at a certain point, you look back and go like, oh, this is just what I do now. And it's novel at first. And, like, I've built relationships with the other people, the two
with the godmother
yes, the godmother is a friend of, like, she is a friend now, and I'll walk with her sometimes. She'll come catch up. It's like, hey, can I walk with you? And we'll walk and catch up. Like, I know other people there who have been encouraging. Like, you meet a cast of characters. It really, it's really an interesting perspective to have on the world, because you feel like you're in on something because you're up before most people. So it's kind of cool.
I love that.
You just have to do it and then try to do it another day. And at a certain point, it'll just become what you do. Asked and answered.
Amen. Thanks for that, Hal, because I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that. You only have to commit to doing it one day.
That's right.
And
that's
then that's great because I only plan on doing it for one day.
That's it. And then you're done. You've done all the working out you ever need to do.
Yeah. I have workout on my to-do list once. It's not a repeating event. Do you want this event to, click. Do you want this event to repeat? No.
No.
I don't.
The only event I want to repeat is us cleaning the slate. Let's do it again right now.
Yeah. What you got, Ken?
Hey, Mark. Hey, Hal. John Kovalik here. Congratulations on 500 episodes of We Got This, at least 497 of which were not on topics such as weird British crisps, weird British chocolates, and weird British candies. Anyway, Jeff Baby asks, what is the best movie based on a board game or tabletop role-playing game?
Ooh. Oh, John. Some of my favorite episodes are when John Kovalik sends us treats and we unwrap, eat, and discuss them right on the show. John, you're a brilliant artist. I love, love, love your style. I got so excited the first time I saw your art on a board game in a proper mega store. I was like, that's John.
Yeah.
That's Dork Tower. And if you don't read Dork Tower, go read Dork Tower.
Please.
And thank you for this. And Jeffy Baby showing up again on the list. I believe Jeffy Baby was our first contribution of this particular list. Yes?
I think so, yes.
Italian Ice Gelato.
I also think this could be its own topic. I think we could revisit this at some point, but I'll say right now for the obvious answer, I think is Clue.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you can beat Clue in this.
I will say the recent Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out either last year or the year before is spectacular. Like they figured out how to make a movie out of D&D. I think the mistake that every other movie made was they were way too serious because it is like this game of swords and sorcery and dragons and elves and all these different things. But when you're playing the game, you have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's still fun.
It's a game.
And they capture it so well. There's a ton of Easter eggs and things in it that if you play the game, even if you've played the game casually, you will recognize the more you've played it, the more you will appreciate and see sort of what's going on in it. But it's also just a well-told story and a killer cast. So
yes,
if you've not seen it, you should watch it. It could be a contender later on. Clue's the easy answer, so we can say Clue right now.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think Clue has to be the one that we go to. I like some of the ones that are sneaky. I don't know if you'd call this a board game. It's more of just a toy. The toy battle is the Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie, but they didn't want to call it Rock'em Sock'em Robots because that seemed silly.
Real Steel.
So they made Real Steel, but it was still like, come on, you're not fooling anybody. It's Real Steel. Produced by Hasbro. Oh, okay. So it is Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The movie, you just changed the name.
Oh, we've had this script since 1967. We've got to do something with it, please.
Yeah. Battleship ain't gonna win this. No, man. It's got to be Clue.
Yeah, it'll be Clue for now, asked and answered. I would like to revisit this at some point.
All right.
Like there's more of a discussion to be had, but for now, the easy answer is Clue. It would be weird to not say that. It's such a good movie. And, so we'll say that.
Go see the play that is touring right now. If you haven't seen it, we went and saw it a couple weeks ago. My buddy, one of the old Aladdins from the Hyperion, John Schartzer, is playing Mr. Green in it and is absolutely delightful. The whole show is great. Yeah. It's a heck of a good time.
Love it. What's the next topic, Ken?
Hello, I'm 19-time returning We Got This guest, Travis McElroy. And listener Leslie Harkins asks, best bread for grilled cheese, Texas toast, or regular bread? By regular bread, I guess probably just like sliced, just like white bread or like wheat, just regular bread. Which one, boys?
Yeah. Regular bread or Texas toast? Travis McElroy. We've already told the people of the world that Travis is why we wound up on Max Fun. Travis McElroy, one of the podcast greats. Just of all, I admire that guy so much in his knowing who he is and exhibiting it through aggressive kindness.
Yeah.
Like that's just how he lives in the world.
He's such a great human being, and his wife Teresa as well. Like when he lived in LA briefly, we became friends like almost instantly. Just so nice, has always been so giving, always generous with his time, always like willing to do whatever at the drop of a hat for us, which has been, it's just great. And I think about him often because he's such a good guy. And I'm thrilled for his and Justin and Griffin and Clint's success. All of them. Like Clint is a great guy and he raised 3 great sons. So
that family just an absolute delight all around. And listen to their many podcasts in their podcast universe. They have a universe of podcasts, and that's the reason that the whole world has fallen in love with this family they're all just wonderful, wonderful people.
And also Texas toast is too thick to be a grilled cheese bread.
No, get out of here with that.
You sourdough.
Sourdough is not one of the choices, man. It's Texas toast or regular bread. Regular bread. This begs the question that Travis couldn't answer. We love him, but he couldn't answer the question of what regular bread is. If regular bread is just Wonder Bread, then it's Texas toast all the way.
I think
you've got to have something hearty enough to because you know what you have to do? You have to have bread that can handle the pat. Because as much as you are told you're not supposed to, everybody pats the grilled cheese. Pat and smush. You're not supposed to shake a Polaroid. You're not supposed to pat and smush a grilled cheese. But everybody pats and smushes. If you're using Texas toast, it mitigates the pat and smush.
I worry about the white bread that you had as a child because you don't think it holds up to peanut butter and jelly. You don't think it holds up to the pat and smush. But I think that regular
We had
bread,
the Kearns
Texas
Bakery.
Toast.
Hold on. We had while you're insulting Knoxville, Tennessee's
They've
bread.
been condemned. Go ahead.
We had the Kearns Bakery. Yeah. And do you know what the Kearns Bakery's, what their ad campaign gimmick was?
We make bread out of paper.
It was, their bread is so soft that if you smush your nose in it, it leaves a print.
That is not a selling point for bread. It's got
that is how they sold this bread. Like Knoxville, it was a race to the soft bottom is what Knoxville's bread scene was like. So yeah, Hal, we didn't get our fancy Omarosa rolls like you had up in Philadelphia. We had Kearns Bakery nose smushing softy bread. That's what we got.
That's the mistake. No, Tennessee, number 1 in fireworks, number 50 in bread. You heard it here first, folks. Now,
yeah,
Texas
but you know what? We're number 1 in fireworks. So come on over here, man. This is a spectacular show I put together. You're going to love it. It's synchronized with the song that I'm going to hum while we do it. Stand up. Stand up.
All right, I'm standing.
I lost my place.
Okay.
All right,
I'm going to sit back down. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, Texas. Oh, you remembered. I'm going to stand back up.
Texas toast.
Texas toast is like half a loaf of bread, 2 halves of a loaf of bread. It's too thick. At the end of the day, the sandwich, you have to be able to hold it and eat it. It shouldn't be like I'll just cut a piece off and I'll eat it like a French toast stick. And with like it's too much. Regular bread, I think, is like regular sliced bread, which could be wheat. It could be white. It could be sourdough, which is the absolute best bread to make.
Sourdough is the correct bread for. Yeah.
It holds up.
But is sourdough regular enough bread?
Yeah.
For us to say regular bread.
You buy it in a loaf in the bakery. I'd say regular bread is anything you buy in a loaf in the bakery section. Texas toast is frozen.
Is Texas toast always frozen?
Yes.
Also, is Texas toast just a style of cut? Or is it the bread itself?
No, it's white bread. It's thick white bread. Or sour. I guess it could be sourdough, but I think it's white bread. It's really thick. It's buttered and garlicky. It's got a little cheese on it, maybe. It's good. It sits in the garlic bread section. It's with the frozen garlic bread and your local grocer.
I think it does need to be regular bread then.
I mean, good for you if you make it with it. I think it's like a smart, here's a fun thing to do once in a while. I think it's too thick. It's not as thick as I'm making it out to be now that I think about it. In my brain, it's like
3 inches thick.
Telephone books. Yeah. It's a couple telephone books, but it's not that bad. I do think sourdough, which I would count as a regular bread in this case, that you would buy with traditional breads is the best one. I also wouldn't mind a seedless rye. I think that holds really well. A pumpernickel actually that's kind of an outside of the box.
I have pumpernickel here right now.
Go make one. I'll wait.
Though. Okay. You know what I won't do is pat. I'll say this. Okay. I will go with regular bread being the superior bread for a grilled cheese sandwich, as long as the pat and smush does not happen.
Yeah, don't pat and smush.
Don't pat and smush.
You don't have to. Don't do it with burgers either. You don't pat your burger.
Don't pat and smush. Unless you're making smash burgers.
Right, but then you smash it once on the grill and then you leave it be and you flip it. You got to let it stay juicy. And that's why you put the onions in there too. Give you a little juice and texture.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is asked and answered. Thank you, Travis McElroy. Thank you, Leslie Harkins. Again, I think that's 2 for Leslie Harkins in this episode as well.
True.
And regular bread asked and answered.
Next.
Hi, Hal. Hi, Mark. It's Janie Haddad Tompkins here. And I wanted to let you know that listener Leslie Harkins asks, sweet relish or dill relish? Is it really a big deal?
Oh, Janie. I love that. Like I said before, every voice that appears is just a delight. And that was the unmistakable voice of Janie Haddad Tompkins, who is she's so funny.
Yeah.
I adore her. We've known each other for years.
Yes.
Friend of the show and friend of life. And man, is she just a ball of hilarious, no idea what's ever going to come out of her mouth.
Yeah. We worked on a radio show together for a little while that she brought me into, as a matter of fact. It was always such a pleasure, to hang out with her and to hear her on podcasts. She's obviously a delight, obviously very funny, super smart, but also a very talented actor as well. It was just a pleasure to write stuff for her at the time and get to perform with her, because she always understood it and got it and delivered it really she just understands the assignment and does it so well. Absolute pro. And a great guest.
And Leslie Harkins got 2 in a row. This is 3. This is a 3-peat on this episode. Yeah. Sweet relish or dill relish. I like sweet relish. But dill relish I think is so much more versatile. I keep dill relish at home. I'll put sweet relish on a hot dog. But I'll also put dill relish on a hot dog. I'll put dill relish in tuna salad. I'll put dill relish in lots of different recipes that call for either pickle juice or sliced or diced pickles or whatever. It's so easy to just have that jar of dill relish in the fridge. So for pragmatism, dill relish. What do you think?
I'm more of a dill person than sweet. I don't like relish no matter what kind it is, but I prefer dill to sweet and pickles. And also, this immediately made me think of Vlasic relishes. I know everybody makes relish, but that's what I always see with that stork.
Yeah.
The one who sounded like Groucho Marx in the commercials, and who I guess I don't understand why they had a stork, because it seemed like he was the stork who would deliver babies, in a cartoon, but he maybe flunked, he took the government exam to deliver babies and flunked, and they were like, well, you can do pickles and jars of relish. Yeah. That's all you can do. He's like, well, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. And then he went and that was his job for the rest. He didn't get a pension out of it.
No.
He's bound forever to deliver pickles and relish because he failed that exam.
Oh, that's sad. Do you think that for a while he was because he's a nice guy, they didn't want to tell him that he failed the exam, so they were just giving him bundles to deliver, not telling him that they were pickles? Here, just deliver this heavy. roughly 5 to 7 to 9 pound bundle. Just deliver it to Nathan's hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Why? No reason. Did Nathan have a baby?
Yeah. Nathan, you had triplets, but unfortunately one of them fell out and broke and a bunch of pickles came out of its body. Oh, well.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard. That was also what he answered on every question on the test. Just no information. Just, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. And then the next one, this is the craziest thing I ever heard.
Can you please stop doing your Groucho Marx impression? I will flunk you if you don't stop doing your Groucho Marx impression.
Well, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. This is how I speak.
You know what? Get out of my classroom. No babies for you. Now take this 5 pound delivery.
I thought you'd give me C, as in craziest thing I ever heard. Dill relish, asked and answered.
Dill relish.
Thank you, Janie, and thank you, Leslie, and thank you to whoever gives us our next topic.
I bet it's Ken.
Hi, guys. This is Jonathan Dinerstein. I want to wish you a very happy 500th episode. You deserve it. Now, Drew Davenport asks, what is the best one-syllable first name? As you know, I often go by a one-syllable version of my name, and I don't know if it's any kind of great shakes, but I would like to opine that it's significantly better than the name that sounds like my name, but with a superfluous H in it. Those people should be ashamed of themselves for wasting everybody's time. Anyway, best one-syllable first name. Have fun, guys.
We thank him every episode. It's Jonathan Dinerstein, epic musician, dear friend,
genius,
Jeopardy champ.
Yeah.
And a delightful one-syllable name that does not have a superfluous H in it.
Oh, and also congratulations, John, on the Yankees. He's a huge Yankees fan. The Yankees are in the playoffs this year. It's very exciting.
They are.
And hopefully
I just got notified. Who else is?
I'm hopefully by time this episode's out, they're still playing. I hope.
Yeah.
I would assume. I don't remember when the playoffs start, but it's soon. I know it's soon. It's very soon.
Next week, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah, because you can buy tickets right now that are like TBD. They all just say TBD, but you can buy the tickets. Real tempting to get some playoff tickets.
Yeah. So congratulations, John, and thank you for being a part of the show and our lives
Amen.
for all of these years. Like, we're grateful for you. If you've never written the incredible music for us that you did, even more grateful that you wrote that music for us and that you don't use that H.
Yeah. Take that H.
That dumb H.
Dumb H. Yeah. And I also love that you taught us the John Williams code of intervals. That is still one of the most fascinating things I've ever learned on this podcast.
Yes.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to our best John Williams theme episode with Jonathan Dinerstein, and it is a deep dive of joy.
And thank you to Drew, another personal friend who is also like, he is like the Drew from Yahoo Answers, a celebrity in the My Brother and Me universe who I met through Maximum Fun, and we've become friends and we play games and live somewhat close to each other. I saw him a year or so ago, which was very nice. And it makes it weird when I go, yeah, he's a friend. I saw him a year ago, but you know, people's lives get in the way. Yeah. Love Drew.
Hey man, those are the best kinds of friends, are the ones that you can pick right back up with, right?
Yes. So we have a John reading something from a Drew asking for the best one-syllable name of two people.
A Mark and a Hal.
A Mark and a Hal, and a Ken who produces us.
All right. I'm just going to throw out a few criteria.
Okay.
And we can see if there are any names that fit all of these criteria.
Okay.
I'm going to say that the name, and these aren't necessarily all of the criteria. These are, or even the most important ones. I'm just thinking of them because this is the first time we're seeing this.
Okay.
This is a unique question. I'm very excited about this. Here's some criteria I think would work. Would make it work for us. Potentially used for any gender.
Okay.
So useful across all gender lines.
Okay.
Fun to say.
Okay.
Common enough to have a keychain if you're at a souvenir shop.
Sure. If you're on the boardwalk. Sure.
Yeah. And maybe, for good measure, maybe a palindrome.
Oh. So what meets your criteria? Do you have one?
Pip?
Pip? I was going to say Ace. So
Ace. Oh, Ace is a good one.
Good.
Ace is a good one
Ace
syllable
is gender
name.
Neutral.
Ace is gender neutral. It makes you sound cool.
Yeah. It's a pet name for like it's something my dad has called me, Ace. It's something like a parent will call you, or like it's like a loving, it's a term of endearment, but it can also be a name. In today's, like, anything can be a name. Anything can be a name. Look around you. There are names everywhere. 1 syllable, 2 syllable, 3 syllables, and that's all. I'd say Ace. I'm going to go with Ace because that was my gut feeling.
Ace. Gut feeling Ace is pretty good. I'm going to throw a couple more out that are ubiquitous. And I feel like cross gender, these names might be traditionally of one or the other, but I think they're super fun and useful. I love Max. I love Joe.
Yep. Both short for something.
Yeah. Ace isn't short for anything. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ace is its own thing. I think Ace is currently on the top of this mountain. I'm seeing if anything can knock Ace off the mountain.
I think it should be
Max could have done it.
Right?
An independent. Yeah. Ace is fun to say. Any gender. Common. Not a palindrome, but there's not many.
No
I was
keychain.
realizing, I was like, yeah.
Pop.
Yeah, Pop,
Pip,
Bob.
yeah.
Really,
Bob.
it was just Bob because I thought of that Weird Al song. Bob is also a fun name to say. Man, I'm having trouble beating Ace.
Yeah, you can't beat Ace.
It's like in any game of cards. You can't beat Ace.
Yeah, Ace is the place. Boom.
Do you know
boom.
anybody named Ace?
Just the guy from American Idol, Ace. I can't remember what his last name. Ace Young, I think was his name. And Jennifer was working as a producer on American Idol Extra for a few seasons, one of which was his. And at the wrap party for her show, he came over to hang out, and the two of us played ping pong.
Nice.
And he was nice. So my only encounter with an Ace is like, oh, he's a pretty nice guy, very good at ping pong, better than I was at the time. I think I could destroy him now, but back then I was still learning.
This has all been building up to this, hasn't it? You knew you had that name in the hopper just because you wanted to call him out on this show at this moment.
Ace,
yeah.
I'm ready
Take
for
it,
a rematch.
Ace.
Yeah.
I know when Ace Marrero, great guy, another Aladdin from the Aladdin musical.
Oh.
Yeah, brilliant, super talented. So, you know what? I don't think we can beat it. Much like in cards, so goes with names. I think it's Ace.
Yeah. Asked and answered. Aced and answered.
Boo.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. This is a marathon.
It is.
All right. I'm loving this. We got the, I literally just used our title as a phrase for us being in a marathon of topics. You know what though, Hal? We got this.
We do. We got it.
Ken, what's next?
Hey boys, Laser Weber here. Hope you're having a fantastic 500th episode. I have a question here from Jordana Kane who asks, the sun or the moon? Good luck.
Laser has been on our show a number of times.
Yeah.
The chemistry when he comes in and does the show is off the charts. He is hilarious, a very talented and funny musician, but I got to see some of his stand up, some of his presentation at Joseph's birthday show, and it was so good. My father, it was like he loved it so much that he continues to talk about it weeks later, still references it and how much he enjoyed it. And that's just a testament to how funny Laser is and his ability to take large concepts and make them accessible to people and show everybody the humor in things, but also make you think. And it's just, again, blessed to have him in our lives.
Amen to that. A brilliant artist. The thing about Laser's, when he's doing his stuff, it's brilliant art from his very specific point of view. And it feels like you get every emotion and all. And then he comes on, we got this. And it's a absolute joyful chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the way that Laser makes us step up our game on the show.
Yes. 100%.
And also, my first thought when we were thinking of the awesomest first name, I was like, oh, wait, Laser's not.
I thought of that too.
Yeah. I was like, Laser's, of the people I know, Laser is the coolest first name.
It's a pretty cool name. Pretty amazing. Cool. Jordana also a cool first name. Jordana Kane.
Jordana also super cool. Jordana Kane asks, the sun or the moon? I feel like one is practical and one is romantic.
I like when the moon lights up the sky like a big pizza pie. Not only is that amore, but it's a lot more enjoyable. It's fun to have the shine of a full moon. The sun is great, gives us so much.
Yeah.
The moon does give us the tides, so we get that. I kind of want to go with the moon just because it's our weird neighbor that we want to know more about, that we visited a little bit. To get to the moon was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand the sun and we appreciate everything it does for us. But the moon, I don't know, there's something cool about the moon. It turns you into a werewolf. Sun doesn't turn you into a werewolf. It kills vampires.
Yeah. The sun does kill vampires, so that is a bonus for the sun.
Yeah.
I think
I say this is negative. If you're a vampire, it's not good.
Wait a minute, Hal, hold up a mirror. I want to see you in a mirror right now. Hold up a mirror.
Oh, all my mirrors are in the shop.
Okay. Well, when they get back from the shop, I want you to hold up a mirror so I can prove that you're not a vampire.
Yeah, I'm going to go late at night to get them. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. Also, look, man, we're humans. We are species centric. We are Americans. We are nation centric. You don't think as the planet Earth, we are going to be Earth centric? Yeah. Earth revolves around the sun. Sure. But you know what? The moon revolves around us.
Asked and answered. It's the moon.
Yeah. It's the moon.
Yeah.
We control you, moon.
Thanks for all that amore.
Yeah. Thanks for all those werewolves.
Yeah. And for keeping our precious vampires like me, like other people alive.
Wait, what?
Next,
what was
Ken?
that?
Ken, what's
What'd you
next?
say? Wait,
Go
no.
ahead, Ken.
Hal?
Nope. We're
Hal?
all done here.
Hal? Oh, I knew it.
Ken, what's next?
Since the dawn of humanity, one We Got This guest has been named Darren DePaul. And it's me, Darren DePaul. Hi, Mark, Hal, and all the people of the world. Congratulations on 500 episodes. I have been listening since the very first one. Deborah and I listen every week. It is so wonderful to have a podcast that brings us so much joy. Because when it comes to favorite podcasts, we got this one. And listener and person of the world Matt Flater would like to know, best outdoor game that requires no equipment. It could be tag. It could be hide and seek. It could be etc. Because that's a thing too. Congratulations on 500 episodes.
Oh, Darren DePaul. Our dear, dear Darren. The thing about Darren DePaul is his voice is so like, it sounded like that was purchased on Cameo.
Yeah.
It's so precise and polished.
I mean, because he's one of the best to do it. And also,
he's the classiest gentleman we know.
For the amount of talent that he has, if he was a horrible person, he would still work as much as he does because he's that good.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he is he and Deborah both are two of the nicest people that I know, who he gives me like weird credit for being the person who kind of welcomed him to LA because I saw him and we talked to each other. But really, like, he's such a dear friend, someone who I wish I saw more. And that's on me. Like, everybody gets busy, but just like one of those people, and Deborah, two of those people where you're just so grateful to have them in your life. Like, to know, like, oh, these are people who are my friends. That makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Very selfishly.
I will echo their kindness. As you mentioned, I will echo I feel that it is a joy to know Deb and Darren.
Yes. So talented, both of them. My goodness.
So talented. I got to see Deb on Broadway.
Oh, I got to see her in LA. I got to see her and get on your feet.
I mean, yeah, just crazy talented family. Also formidable foes in the Ken Plume trivia verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just delightful. Thank you for being a part of our 500th episode. Thanks for listening to every episode. And thanks for bringing Matt Flater's question to us. Matt asks, best outdoor game that requires no equipment, tag, hide and seek, or etc. Man, I just played a game of freeze tag, not the improv game freeze tag, but like proper freeze tag with a 4-year-old. Holy cow, man. And my brother-in-law, who's like a gazelle. He was like the best runner in his high school. And like,
you have to crawl under the legs to unfreeze.
We didn't do the crawl under the legs. We just did you had to tag to unfreeze because we were playing on a jungle gym.
I see.
I've never been that out of breath, maybe in my life.
It's a good workout playing tag.
As playing a round of that. Like anything that's just running where you have a goal as well, and that goal keeps you moving fast and constantly pivoting. Oh man, it takes a lot out of you to play that. It's super fun.
Oh yeah. Tag gives you the rush of like being chased and like, when you're like running away from someone chasing you. And then hide and seek gives you that, where you think you found the perfect place. And if they come near you, they're not going to find you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an anticipation to that. And then there's a frenetic energy of tag. There is one game that requires no equipment that combines them both. Do you know what game I'm about to say?
Hold on. That combines tag
the sensation
and hide
of being
and seek.
Chased. The sensation of being chased, but the anticipation of being found. Like that anticipation of it could happen at any second.
I give up.
Duck, duck, goose.
Oh,
you sit in the circle and you just hear the duck, 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 getting closer, duck, duck, duck. And then you think like, if I'm goose, I've got to be able to pop up from this crisscross applesauce position, and I've got to be able to chase that person around the circle before they get back to my spot. So I got to be ready to go. I'm excited that it could be me, because once you do it, then the chase is on. And it's one of the few areas where the person who's it is the one being pursued. And you can play it.
Yeah.
I just think I love that game combines everything that's great about hide and seek and everything that's great about tag.
I think of that though, Duck Duck Goose, as more of an indoor game. Like an indoor
outdoors
gymnasium.
Too. Either way. You can play it outdoors too. Either way. I know a lot of more people play it indoors.
It feels like I would like to play that on a mat for the up down potential collisions and all the different, all of those elements. I can't imagine playing Duck Duck Goose sitting out if we're out in the playground in the gravel or in the on the pavement. You know what I mean?
Okay. Then may I offer what I think is a good compromise? Like the version of tag that I think is the best?
Sure.
You ever play TV tag?
What is TV tag?
When it is getting close, you're trying to run from who's it. And if they get close to you, if you can get down and sit on the ground and say the name of a television show and not repeat what somebody else has said, they can't tag you. You get immunity and they have to move on to the next person. Then you're up and going around. That was a fun version. It's some version of tag. I think tag is the most fun because it's high energy.
I think something high energy that has rounds that are short.
Tag. And everybody's running around. We're all in one place. You don't have to find everybody. And
hide and seek, someone could get too good a hiding spot, especially if you're playing hide and seek. I also think of as kind of an indoor game. If you're like, okay, the whole house is a possibility. Like all of this is fair game. The kitchen sink is base or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you've got a finite amount of space. If you're playing hide and seek in the great outdoors, to find a good hiding spot, you're going to have to go potentially pretty far from wherever your outdoor game playing space is.
It's too infinite.
Yeah, tag it's too infinite, and you could lose a person forever.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a version of tag. I like it being TV tag. I think that's fun because then it's not just, you get the brain kids get to play too. There's the brawn kids and the brain kids.
Yeah.
The brawn kids are always going to beat the brain kids at regular tag, but the brain kids have a fighting chance if you're playing TV tag.
Yeah. Airwolf. Anyway, that is the answer. It is TV tag, asked and answered. You're welcome.
The Golden Girls.
Game. Golden Palace.
The Charmings.
Aftermash.
Archie's Place.
It's a
living. Are we just doing spin-offs now?
Oh, sure. The Jeffersons.
Oh, good spin-offs.
Thank you.
All right. That is asked and answered. Thank you, Darren DePaul. Thank you, Matt Flater. Ken, what's next?
Hey, what's up? This is Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained. Mark and Hal, congratulations on your 500th episode. Clifton Donahue asks you, Coke, Pepsi, or Dr. Pepper? And I would like to know, which ship is better, the X-Wing or the Y-Wing?
Oh, Alex. This is very exciting. This is a very fun name to hear. I haven't heard from Alex Damon in a while. So this is a joy and a delight.
Yes, Alex and Molly are kind enough to join us to talk about all things Star Wars around.
Absolutely. That was such a fun episode.
That was great.
Oh, and thanks for jumping in on this one with us, you guys.
Yes, we appreciate it.
This is super fun. And listen to their show. I feel weird even adjudicating this to Alex, who is like a master.
Alex and Molly both know.
They both know their
circles
stuff
around us when it comes to Star Wars. I would go with the X-Wing because I like that the S foils open and close.
Mm-hmm.
The Y-Wing is there's a weird thing that I do like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is kind of
What's the weird thing?
I don't know. It always looks like it has two popsicles on it. The two engines they're like popsicles to me. I like popsicles.
That's fair. I mean, the X-Wing is one of those that all you have to see is the outline of it, and you hear the song, you feel the rush, you watch that whole final scene play out in your head the second you just witness that shape.
Feels more maneuverable as a ship. It feels like more evasive, quicker.
I understand the physics of it better too, I think.
Yeah.
You look at it and you go, okay, I see why this thing does this.
Yeah. I mean, it's space, so nothing has to be aerodynamic, but at the same time.
Yeah, there is no reason for it to have wings.
Yeah. It could just be a tube. They could all just be tubes.
Yeah. Well, they don't need wings.
They do wind up in atmosphere. Point. Sometimes they're in the atmosphere.
That's true. An X-Wing can go down into atmospheres.
Yeah. I mean, they all can, but the Y-Wing just feels like I don't know. It looks like a blockade runner's little cousin, which is fine.
All right.
I like an X-Wing. That'd be
The X-Wing. That's, so Alex Damon, that's your question asked and answered. Now we're going on to Clifton Donahue. Coke, Pepsi, or Dr. Pepper? I feel like we even mentioned it in this episode.
Yeah.
We have adjudicated this, Clifton Donahue, but we have not added Dr. Pepper into the mix. So I don't even want to say, I want you to go back and listen to our cola of choice. But I guess now what we have to determine is our cola of choice versus Dr. Pepper.
Is Dr. Pepper owned by Coke or Pepsi? I think it belongs to Coke.
I don't think it's owned by either of them.
Really? Dr. Pepper?
I think it's its own thing.
It's an independent soda?
I think Dr. Pepper has always been an independent soda.
Wow. The doctor kneels to no one.
Did we even say in the episode, like, Coke versus Pepsi? We're like, really, it's Dr. Pepper. Because that would be my choice.
Is that what you want to pick? That's fine with me, because the most recent thing I saw for any of them was a recipe for somebody made, like, ham, and they did, or like a
Dr. Pepper glaze?
Pork. Yeah, no, it was, well, they do glaze sometimes. There's a cherry Dr. So they scored the fat cap, right? And then, it's Keurig. Keurig and Dr. Pepper is their own company. Perfect. So they're owned by the coffee pod company, or they own them. Who cares? Doesn't matter. You score the fat cap, and then he marinated it in cherry Dr. Pepper for like 20 hours.
Oh, it's so good.
And then put more on top. And I was like, I don't like soda, but I feel like it would give it a really good depth of flavor. It's not going to make the ham fizzy. That's what I tell myself watching. I was like, how the ham's not going to be fizzy.
It's just the flavor. It's just the flavor.
Yeah.
I think for me, as the soda drinker here, I realized that I think it was probably Coke that won, because Pepsi was literally like a con artist created Pepsi as a knockoff Coke. And he was not a good dude. Pepsi eventually became really socially conscious and did a lot of great things. But at their genesis, Pepsi was a complete knockoff of Coke. But again, I don't want to say who won our particular episode, the original or the knockoff.
Yeah. Seems like it might be obvious, but who knows?
Who knows? Go back and listen. Yeah.
You want to pick Dr. Pepper for this one?
I think for this one, sure. I think it's Dr. Pepper. Because Diet Dr. Pepper tastes a lot like regular Dr. Pepper, which I really like because I usually drink the diet soda versions of things. And it's always been my go-to since I was a kid.
Well, there you go. Dr. Pepper asked and answered. Boom.
Boom.
I'm a pepper. You're a pepper. He's a pepper. She's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? The answer is yes.
Pepper, drink Dr. Pepper.
Hey everybody, Ken Plume here, and we're about to go to a quick ad break for the Max Fun Network. But before we do, I want to drop in this extra special message that Hal and Mark don't know is in the episode to voice my love and appreciation for Hal and Mark. For their friendship over the years, they're two incredibly wonderful people that it has been a pleasure and a privilege and a gift to know and work with and have in my life all these years. And it has been a very special, wonderful thing to be a part of We Got This and bringing their brilliance to you, the people of the world, each and every week over the course of these 500 episodes and almost 10 years. Pretty darn incredible, if you ask me. And hey, we got a lot more episode to go. Let's kick to those ads. Come on back. We'll be here with more of your topics and more special guests.
This season on The Adventure Zone, Abnormals. Get ready for a brand new crime-fighting trio here to protect the anthropomorphic muscular animal citizens of River City. Featuring Justin McElroy as Axolile, the firefighting axolotl. Clint McElroy as Roger Moore, the debonair cow of mystery. Griffin McElroy as Navy SEAL, the raw SEAL that has never served in the armed forces, and Travis McElroy as every other swole critter in River City. This swear-free Saturday morning cartoon-inspired story airs every Thursday on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Emily Fleming.
And I'm Jordan Morris.
We're real comedy writers.
And real friends.
And real cheapskates.
We say, why subscribe to expensive streaming services when you can stream tons of insane movies online for free?
Yeah, as long as you're fine with 25 randomly inserted, super loud car insurance commercials.
On our podcast, Free with Ads, we review streaming movies from the darkest corner of the internet's bargain bin.
From the good to the weird to the holy, look at Van Damme's big old butt.
Free with Ads, a free podcast about free movies that's worth the price of admission.
Every Tuesday on MaximumFun.org or your favorite pod spot.
Next.
Hello. This is Ben Acker. Happy 500th year of podcasting. I've been asked to read this. Liz Johnson asks, best freezer/fridge combo. 1, split vertically. 2, fridge on top, pull out freezer door on bottom. Or 3, fridge on bottom, freezer compartment on top. Note to the editor, feel free to trim this down, add any effects, I guess, you find appropriate. Thank you, Hal and Mark, for your service. Okay.
Oh, Ben Acker, you are a delight.
Yes. Thank you so much for sending a message from the Klingon distress signal in Star Trek 6. We appreciate it. Ben's I mean, I don't know what you can say about Ben other than he's like most of the good things that have come out, including doing this show, came as a result of things that he was involved. You know, without Ben Acker, I might not have started dating my wife. That is true. Thrilling Adventure Hour.
He's a linchpin for a lot of things. Creator of the Thrilling Adventure Hour. We would not. He's like, we got this as grandfather.
Yes.
Right?
Grandpa Ben.
Grandpa Ben.
So
yelling
smart,
at clouds.
so funny.
The smartest and funniest.
Again, family.
Yeah.
He's mishpucha, as we say.
Who's Miss Shpuka? Was she one of your teachers?
A really popular beauty contest at the JCC, the Klein JCC in Northeast Philadelphia. Mishpucha. Every year, somebody different. Always
somebody gets named Miss Bucha.
Yeah. Now let's talk about freezer, fridge, side by side, fridge on top, freezer on the bottom, freezer on top. I've had all of these.
Yeah.
I've dealt with all of these.
Freezer drawer on the bottom, where the whole thing just pulls out.
Yeah, it's what I have right now. I'll show it to you on Friday, so you can.
Oh no, I'm familiar. I like that style. I think I'm more of a like double vertical doors person, because if you've got the freezer on the bottom, then you can't have the ice maker, right? You don't have.
No, you can.
Do you have the ice maker in the door and the freezer on the bottom? You can. That is a thing.
Ice maker is always independent. You don't need it to be in the freezer.
What? I thought the ice maker had to be in the freezer on the side because that's where it stored the ice.
You've been lied to. And side by side sucks because the refrigerator's never big enough. You need more width for the refrigerator. You need both width. And I think on top, I've never seen one on top where there's enough room. The drawer on the bottom, there's a surprising amount of space, and you get a second drawer usually. So it's like a 2-drawer system.
Yeah. Like it's like a spy thing. Like you've got, like you would have, like here's where I keep my collection of watches, but now I slide this one over and this is where all the guns and ninja stars are.
Yeah. Like you look in ours and you pull it out. You're like, oh, there's vegetables. There's some like potato, like, you know, whatever's in there, like frozen fare. And then you pull the drawer over. You're like, oh, ice cream, cookie ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
Frozen cones, popsicles.
Yeah. The dangerous contraband hidden drawer.
Yeah. You got to go with the hidden drawer. It's freezer on the bottom.
You think it's freezer on the bottom?
Oh,
freezer,
yeah.
Freezer on the top.
Cuts the fridge off. Freezer on the top.
I see. I don't need as much room in my fridge as you because though I do now that it's not just me here.
You're living with the same human being who actually puts food in the fridge. You realize like, oh, there should be space in here.
Yeah. That's fair. Look, I like freezer on the bottom, if only for that special secret extra drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret extra drawer.
Asked and answered. Freezer on the bottom.
And thank you, Liz, for asking.
Thanks, Liz Johnson. All right. What's next?
Hey, Mark, Hal, Ken. Jordana Kane asks, best spot at the cinema. And by the way, I'm Frank Conniff.
We knew.
Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good answer for that very important question.
We knew you were Frank Conniff.
Yeah,
you didn't have to tell us. We hear that unmistakable voice. Oh, Frank. God, that guy makes me laugh so hard. So smart, so funny. A great online follow.
I got to do shows where he had written things and submitted them before I ever met him. And he was always the one writer. If he submitted something, that they were like, don't touch this, don't change it, do it exactly as it is, because he's so good. Like, he is revered within the community, and rightly so, for how funny he is, like an encyclopedia of film knowledge. There's a reason why he is one of the guys behind Mystery Science Theater 3000, and just a pleasure. I spent a day in New Orleans of all places with Frank and Trace, just walking around the city. And it's
delightful.
One of my most treasured memories, just spending time with both of them. So thank you, Frank. And again, another early guest.
Yeah. Frank, TV's Frank, as he is colloquially known to the masses, has been a friend of this show for a long time, and we thank you for this. We also thank Jordana Kane, repeat, showing back up on here, who asks, I think we've already kind of covered this one, best spot to sit at the cinema. We were given 3 choices before, front, middle, or back.
Yeah.
You've got your preferred spot, but I think we've covered that. It's the middle is the spot that is, the sound is designed to be best there. The view is designed to be best there. If you're seeing a 3D movie, it's the only place to sit where you're not going to see the thing look a little bit wonky.
Yeah, this is true. Jordana, you'll be delighted to know that whether you call it a movie theater, a cinema, a film house, a movie warehouse, a fun factory, whatever it is, the best place to sit is in the center. It is designed for that experience, I think. More than anywhere else, even though I like it. Save me the aisle seat. Asked and answered. What's next?
Hi, Bill Lublin here. Ray Smotherman asks, best steak doneness, rare, medium, medium well, or well done. And I'd like to know, who's the best actor to play Superman? Kirk Allen, George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, or Tyler Hoechlin?
No Tim Daly? We're not going to give Tim Daly, who played the animated Superman? Thank you, Dad.
Say nice things about your dad, Hal.
I love my dad. He gave me life.
Yeah.
He is...
So really responsible for this show.
Yes, very much.
If you're the father, sorry, Acker, he's the grandfather of this show.
He's the great-grandfather.
He's the...
That poor old man. I'm sorry you're getting older, Dad. He and my mother have always been so supportive of me. Very fortunate. When my mother passed away in 2008, it was a big deal for everybody at the Thrilling Adventure Hour because everybody knew my parents because they came to pretty much every show. My dad continued that for pretty much the entire run of Thrilling and a lot of the shows we've done on the road. So I talked to him every day, and he was a great guest on the show. Of course, talking about the original Marvel MCU guest.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, for Superman, I don't think it's even close. Well, George Reeves.
Christopher Reeve.
George Reeves gave an iconic performance. Christopher Reeve, and I've talked to Padgett about this. We've had private conversation about what a great performance that is, because he's playing 2 different characters. It's not even close, just because of the skill and the care that he brought as for him, he was like a steward of that role and defined it for everybody who came after him.
Absolutely. Christopher Reeve, 100%. Bill, you gave us the easy question.
Yes.
Yeah. That one's asked and answered.
Ray gave us a pretty easy one too.
I'm curious then. I think there is a correct answer. I think there's an answer that most chefs would tell you. Of course, it depends on the cut of steak, but generally speaking,
it does, but medium rare is generally the way.
Medium rare.
Cooked.
Yeah.
That is.
You've got the best of both worlds. It's cooked enough, but it's still juicy. You get just a little bit of that red in the middle. So you get that real savory, raw meat toothiness that's so satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm personally, if I'm getting a filet mignon, I'm a rare guy. I like a rare filet.
Sure.
But some people think that I'm a vampire for doing that it's just too much.
Bloody.
My Uncle Bill used to always say, again, this might have to get bleeped. Look, we're entering hour 6. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. My Uncle Bill, used to always, because this is what a server loves to hear when you're working in a steak restaurant. The way he would order, he'd say, knock its horns off, wipe its ass, and bring it to me. He liked it very rare.
People like it rare. Medium rare is the best way to have a steak made. And it's a great way to spot if somebody really enjoys steak. Medium rare is generally the way. Somebody who's an aficionado of steak, that's the way
they'd say medium rare. But rare also has all those euphemisms that medium rare does not have. If somebody wants their steak medium rare, they'll say medium rare. If they want their steak rare, there is any number of ways to ask it. Hey, walk it through a warm room. Like, there's so many different, like, dad joke ways of ordering a steak rare.
Rare is the most hilarious way to do your steak, but medium rare.
But the correct way is medium rare.
Yeah, that's the correct way. Asked and answered. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Daddy. Oh, that's weird to say it like that. I don't think I've called him Daddy since I was single digits. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. And not surprising. I didn't know. He didn't say anything.
Daddy. I'll say it to Bill.
And say, also, I bought you a microphone. Please record into it. I'm aghast, but sounded great. I love to hear you. It was a lovely surprise. Thank you. What's next? Who's next?
Hello, Mark and Hal. It's Ted Leo, your old pal. And I'm so happy to do this 500th episode with you. Now, Leslie Harkin asks, when picking a plate of Asian food, she asks, noodles or rice? Noodles or rice now, baby? She asks, noodles or rice now, baby? Let's go.
It's my new favorite song.
How many people have Ted Leo performing a song on their podcast?
I mean, it's a feather in our cap, Ted Leo.
Oh my God. Ted's
Another,
so cool.
he's just the coolest. He's one of those ones I use as an example when people ask me about this show of somebody who at the beginning of the day said, breakfast cereal, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can talk about that for an hour. And then in the middle of recording was standing on a chair saying, you don't understand. It's about the crunch factor. So that is always how I think of Ted Leo. What a delight. What a joy. What a brilliant musician.
Brilliant musician. Great
and
human being.
Great human being and a great friend.
Yes.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Ted.
and amazing to watch perform. If you've never seen him perform and you have the opportunity to do it, do it. If you haven't listened to everything he's ever made musically, you should, because it's incredible. He's done a bunch of stuff, great stuff with Amy Mann pretty recently. Just like
The Both.
Oh my gosh. And just a pleasure. Like, how lucky are we? All of these people who have contributed, how lucky are we to know them and have them take a couple of minutes to be part of our 500th episode?
Yeah, it's so kind of everybody. It is selfishly and braggadociously, I will say, it is a testament to the people we choose to surround ourselves with.
Yes.
We have very good taste in friends.
Yeah, this is all about us.
Yeah.
It's also all about
great
rice.
taste in friends. It's
all about rice.
Really?
I love
hang
noodles.
on. I
love lo mein. I love lo mein.
Okay, we're talking about rice versus, this is interesting.
I feel like I have rice with because I like steamed white rice with stuff. I'm using a back scratcher right now while I talk.
You currently, I'm watching you use a back scratcher.
Itchy back. I got itchy back. You know, I don't know if it's bug bites or what, but anyway, I like a steamed white rice as a side of something with sauce. You put it on top. And as a kid, I would take the sweet and sour or duck sauce and I would put it on the rice and that would be a dessert. That would be like my favorite dessert. Forget the scoop of ice cream, the orange slice. Not interested in that. And then like a good fried rice. I like rice as a quintessential part of an Asian dish, but I also do enjoy noodles. You're a noodle guy?
Well, okay. I'm a little split on this. I'm Italian, so I'm going to be a pasta guy.
Sure.
But as Annie and I had this conversation recently, pasta and noodles, different things, it feels like.
Yes.
In the way that they're presented. Noodles in many of the dishes, lo mein or any other noodle dishes, you're going to find, I think, not the pasta al dente like Italians like it. It's going to be noodles cooked thoroughly and also easily picked up with chopsticks. Right. I'll tell you what's not easily picked up with chopsticks for me is all those tiny little grains of rice. If I want to slow down and eat, if I want to slow down and like mindfully eat slower, the best way to do it is for me to eat a bowl of rice with chopsticks because it'll take me about 3 hours. Give me a fork. It's gone in 90 seconds.
Sure.
But no, I want to savor my meal. So yeah, it's you and me, chopsticks, for the next several hours tackling Mount Basmati.
If you have a saucy food, though, it binds the rice and then you have little clumps you can work with. You don't have to pick out each grain individually. It'll take a little longer, but also if you have a plate or like a bowl specifically, you hold the bowl up and you use it as like a little shoveler.
I'll say this, because the question is when picking a plate of Asian food.
Yes.
It's not just specifically noodles or rice. As an Italian, I would have to go with pasta, but we're not talking about pasta. We're talking about noodles. And I think in this case, rice is so much more versatile. It's so much more ubiquitous. It's the base of Asian dishes. Like it's just what you put on the bottom and then everything goes on top of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah. It absorbs well. It soaks up sauce beautifully. It's
wonder food.
It really is kind of a wonder food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never made noodle crispy treats.
And when your tummy's bad, you can have rice. Part of the brat. It's the R in brat. Brat
That's
summer.
true. It's the R and brat. Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Wait, hold on a second, Hal.
Huh?
Was your brat summer just you having tummy troubles and eating the bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast diet?
Yeah.
That was your brat summer?
That's what I thought the song was about. Like, if your tummy's bad. I don't know. Ted didn't include that in his song, but I'm pretty sure there's another one that's about that.
Yeah, I thought brat summer was short for bratwurst. And boy, did I eat a lot of sausages this summer.
Well, you're going to be eating a lot of bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast because of that.
That's true. But definitely to Leslie Harkins. Again, multiple topics on this particular episode.
Yes.
But we'll say to Leslie Harkins, yeah, rice all the way. All right, Ken, what's next?
Hello, my special boys. Happy 500th episode. This is Jackson Q. Public III. And I am here to ask on behalf of loyal listener Ray Smotherman, metric system or imperial? And also I would like to know for myself what you think the best restaurant franchise no longer in existence is. Examples are Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips, Kookaroo. There may still be some of these lying around, but certainly not the way there used to be. What are your favorites? What is the best?
Oh, Jackson Public.
Oh,
how do we love you?
Man, again, one of my favorite memories of life ever was walking through New York with him and just laughing. Like, we were in tears laughing. We almost went to see Sinbad perform at a comedy club. Like, it was that kind of night. He was walking with me back to where I was staying, which was near Astro Base. And we were just laughing and having a good time. We saw that Sinbad was doing a show and almost impulsively went in to see it. But just, man, I love him so much. Always have a good time hanging out with him.
I mean, of course.
Obviously, so talented writer, talented artist, talented actor, kind of does it all and does it so well and is so humble and, again,
brilliant.
Incredible. Yeah. What do you think the best? I kind of like Arthur Treacher's just because.
Arthur Treacher's is pretty funny.
Kookaroo is better food. I like Kookaroo.
I think that some of these, like, there's a lot of places that were huge. I don't know if I would say defunct for all of them, but, there's some of them, there's maybe one or two left. You know what I mean?
Roy Rogers. You think you're Roy Rogers?
Would you call that defunct? Roy Rogers is one.
I think Roy Rogers.
Are there any Kenny Rogers roasters left?
No, that went out of business. Boston Market, which is now, Boston Market's gone.
Boston Market is gone.
Boston, it's gotta be Boston
Those
Market.
Those were so good. But what about is Bennigan's still around? Is there like one Bennigan's left?
Bennigan's isn't good.
Bennigan's is great, man. Come on.
Is fine. Bennigan's is like ground round with like a jacket on.
What about Chi-Chi's? Chi-Chi's Mexican.
Is it still around? I think it's still around, isn't it?
I think it's gone. But I feel like the winner for this one, for both of us, like you saw how we both perked up and went, Boston Market. It's the meatloaf and the cornbread and the greens for me.
For me, it's the chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, cream spinach, and the cornbread, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, and the freestyle machine. Get the High C orange. This is at a different time in my health journey, but
sure.
Oh my goodness. I could go to town. When I would visit Fred and Annie at their previous, 2 apartments ago.
Old spot on Gardner or
the spot
still
that was
in the
like,
valley?
It was still, it was in Burbank Universal City.
Oh yeah. The one right across from,
I would go to
Market.
Boston Market. Every time I visited them, I would go to Boston Market afterwards. Now there aren't any. I spent time in their app trying to find, they were like, yeah, there's one right here. And then I was trying to order. They were like, you can't, sucker. We're closed. Oof. The app is just a Fisher Price toy. It's a Fisher Price car. It doesn't really drive anywhere. Sucker. Fool. You moron.
Let me ask you this.
You're still there.
I wonder if this is why Boston Market may have gone out of favor. Because now that I'm thinking about it, it's mostly like a veg, a protein, like classic Americana. It's either a piece of chicken, piece of meatloaf, and then mashed potatoes, greens, a little piece of bread, and it's in a plate or tray that has individual walled off sections to it.
Perfect.
Is the cuisine of Boston Market prison? Is that what it's going for?
Food.
It's elevated prison food.
Isn't any cafeteria?
Yeah. Any cafeteria is, I don't know if cafeteria is elevated prison food or if prison food is just de-elevated cafeteria food.
And that'll be a future episode.
All right. Ray Smotherman asks, metric system or imperial? Metric. I'm team. I wish that the United States were part of the metric system. It's so much easier. It's what the whole world uses except us.
I agree with you in theory, but in practice, I promise you there is a very small chance I will ever learn it unless I am forced to.
That's the thing. But that's why this show is objective. Since our first episode, we've said we want to answer subjective questions objectively. And I think subjectively as Americans, like, oh, the imperial system's way easier. But the metric system is so much it's so much more unifying of the world. Like we just kind of seem like jerks for not using it.
Honestly, if you want the best breakdown of this, watch the George Washington sketch from Nate Bargatze's first time hosting SNL. And that will give you the perfect breakdown of how dumb,
yes. They're like at Valley Forge or something.
That imperial system is. And yet, I know it. I'm not going to learn anything else. So subjectively, I would say imperial system. But objectively, which is what we do, it's metric asked and answered.
Yeah. Asked and answered 100%.
Next.
All right.
Kelly Sue DeConnick here.
Hey.
Happy 500th episode. That's a lot of episodes, guys. My question is, well, it's not my question. It's Robin Epps's question. Robin Epps asks, best board game, Clue, Sorry, or Monopoly?
Oh, now we've done best board game as an episode.
We have with Maureen Johnson.
With the great Maureen Johnson. The great Kelly Sue DeConnick.
So cool.
She's just cool. That's the thing. She's just cool. I met her at the Women's March on Washington the day after the inauguration in 2017. And I was immediately just like, this is one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Brilliant, fun, and warm, and welcoming, and open, and kind, and just like your coolest friend giving you a hug.
Yeah,
is what
and then
Kelly Sue feels like.
Also, you watch Captain Marvel, think of the MCU, and go, "Oh, that's right. I actually know the person who is so cool that she has created one of the definitive versions of Captain Marvel and helped."
Right.
Again, an absolute pleasure to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Just easy.
But I forget that about the Captain Marvel thing is great too. Cause it's like, oh yeah, right. That is how cool is this person? This person reinvented a Marvel superhero and created what is now the canon version of that superhero.
Yep. Pretty incredible.
I mean, come on, Kelly Sue.
Yes.
You're a delight.
Absolutely.
So Kelly Sue via Robin Epps. Hello, Robin Epps. Or Robin Epps via Kelly Sue, I should say, asks best board game, Clue, Sorry, or Monopoly. I called it Sorry. I don't know why I suddenly was Canadian.
You did spend a lot of time in Canada
I did spend a lot,
5 to 10 years.
That's true. I have lived a good chunk of time in Canada.
Yeah.
So Cluedo, that's the metric version.
That's right.
Sorry, or Monopoly. I'll tell you what it isn't. It's not Monopoly. Because we are all playing Monopoly wrong.
We're missing the point.
We're missing the point.
We're not
of
getting
Monopoly.
the original point because it was changed and mutated. I enjoy Monopoly a great deal. I think Clue's the best of these three. I think Clue might have won our board game.
I think Clue did win our board game episode. I think Clue's got more style. It's got the most style out of all of them.
I feel like Clue's the one game where you don't leave Monopoly going like, I could make a killing investing in real estate. Nobody thinks that after playing Monopoly. But after Clue, you might go like, maybe I should become a detective. Maybe I'm good at this.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm team Clue all the way. Plus, they both come. Sorry, look, you're out of the running early because your pieces are not individual, like your little pegs. All of your pegs are just different colors. Monopoly is the hat, the boot, the iron, the kitty cat,
Doggy.
the race car.
Yeah.
Clue has little pipe and little wrench
weapons.
and little murder weapons. I always was bummed when I would play a game of Clue on a board that had the plastic versions. I was like, come on, man. Get the board with the pewter wrench
Yeah,
and
I
the
need
tiny
metal
pewter
knife.
candlestick.
I need the knife that looks like a nail file.
Exactly.
I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
Clue.
love Clue. This
Asked
Clue
and
has now
answered.
won 2 topics on this very episode.
Kaboom.
Boom. Well done. All right. Who's next? This is so exciting. Every one of these a gift.
Yes.
Hey, happy 500th, you dorks. It's Steve Agee here, and Zanita Johnson asks, foil or plastic wrap? Good luck. The good luck was from me, Steve.
Steve, thank you for taking time out of your busy professional schedule to be part of this.
I know.
Steve's another person I love. Like, I live close to him now, and I've been over a couple times to just sort of hang with him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, again, I just love talking to him, get along with him instantly.
Yeah.
You could say a million things about how hilarious and talented he is, and that is absolutely
And
true.
everyone says those things.
He also once made me laugh so hard at Dragon Con that we were backstage about to do an improv show. And for the first 5 minutes of the improv show, I was still in tears laughing, like couldn't focus on what was happening, just couldn't catch my breath. And that, again, there's so many people here with whom I have memories of like, oh, that is just such, I treasure that moment as much as I treasure times that we've taken a walk together and just sort of talked and like learned each other's sort of backstory. It's always fun, like with a friend, when you learn like, what's your origin story? What did you go through? How did you get here? Just the best. And a great guest. Live at
a great
Pensacon.
guest. A great guy, a great guest. All heart. I've loved every conversation I've had with Steve Agee. He might be, we've said this about multiple people on this episode, that they might be the funniest person alive.
Yep.
It's just, I can't say enough how much I enjoy the company of Steve Agee.
So funny. Oh, this one's easy. It's foil.
Yeah. Foil or plastic wrap? Plastic wrap. Impossible to rip off straight. You always have that little plastic tail. Not recyclable. And you can't mold it into shapes like a big crab if you were, say, getting takeout at Gladstone's in the early aughts.
Yep.
Or, folding the foil while working at Gladstone's in the early aughts.
Or if it's the early aughts and you're at Gladstone's and you need, you ran out of cookie sheets, you can just fold a piece of foil and bake the cookies on that. And we've done it here. And this isn't even Gladstone's in the early aughts.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what you couldn't do at Gladstone's in the early aughts or anywhere else? Put plastic wrap in the oven, the microwave, or anything that heats up. Guess what? You're going to melt and you're going to make a mess out of this Gladstone's in the early aughts.
Hey, here's a challenge for you. I want you to picture this. You're at a restaurant called Gladstone's.
Gladstone's?
Gladstone's.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Gladstone's.
That's Fred Flintstone's urologist. Gladstone. Anyway, you're at Gladstone's. It's the early aughts.
Mm-hmm.
You have a challenge in front of you. Try and rip a piece of plastic wrap off and not have it fold in on itself. Like, as you're doing it, it's twisting into a plastic rope. You can't do it. Then you pull it apart. It's never the same. It's never the way it is in a commercial. And because it lies to you, it doesn't even deserve to be in the same breath as aluminum foil.
Exactly. Aluminum foil is so vastly superior to plastic wrap that I'm insulted by your questions, Anita Johnson. No, I'm just kidding.
But thank you for it.
Your question is very good. Thank you for it.
Foil.
Yeah, I feel like it's 100% foil.
Asked and answered.
Also, foil, you can smush up into the teeniest little dope silver ball.
Oh,
did you see Adam Savage when he was hammering a ball of, he hammered foil into a perfect metal ball? Took him hours because that's what he does.
I feel like I have seen that before, but it sounds like the most Adam Savage thing that Adam Savage has ever done.
Delightful.
And also, they have a really good foil ball at Gladstone's in the early aughts. What's next?
I'm sure they did. Yeah. What's our next one?
Hi, Mark and Hal. This is Stephanie DeBruzzo.
And Craig Shemin.
And happy 500th episode of We Got This. What a milestone.
500 episodes.
That's incredible.
I was on 2 of them.
I think I was on 2 of them.
So that leaves 496 that we weren't on.
Yeah, so that's 496 subpar episodes, really.
I think any episode with Mark and Hal, or Hal and Mark,
right,
is a good par episode.
Okay, it's par.
Not necessarily a Jack par episode.
No, but par.
And speaking of
yes.
episodes,
Yes.
we have a listener question for this episode.
Do we now?
Yeah, Shelley Godefren asks, best place to sit for live theater if money is no object?
If money's no object.
Yes, well, I think if it was up to me, I would sit inside the theater. That would be the best place to sit if money's no object.
Well, let's hear what Mark and Hal have to say about that.
I love them so much. Oh, Stephanie and Craig, thank you for being a part of this show. Thank you for our Muppet episodes that we did in New York City with Henson. That was that Craig and Stephanie were instrumental in putting that together, and also great guests on that. I was a Stephanie D'Abruzzo fan before we were friends, and I was so excited to get to meet her and have her on the show. And Craig, everything you have written is inspiring. You are a font of information. Your Muppet Bible is more of a reference book for me than the dictionary I own.
Yeah, just the font of knowledge that you have, not only about the Muppets, but about a number of different subjects, which is what makes you such a fantastic guest on the show, is that you have great stories and a great depth of knowledge.
And you guys are just so wonderful and warm and kind with that knowledge and loaning it to our little show.
100%. Like, just again, two incredible stand-up people. About Stephanie, I will say, when Jennifer and I were just starting to date, the first time she ever came to Philadelphia to visit was Thanksgiving of 2005. And the four of us, she and I and my parents, went to New York and watched Avenue Q on Broadway. So we got to see the original cast. We got to see Stephanie perform. So I knew her and was aware of her work and had listened to her a ton of times on the soundtrack before I ever met her. So I was completely starstruck, still amazed that she is someone that I know, because that show was so inspirational to me. Just seeing it was like, anything is possible. They did it. They figured it out. And the performances were so incredible. She was so wonderful in it. And just the pleasure to know them both. Really.
Absolutely.
Really great. And Shelley too. Shelley is like, when an episode comes out of the show, Shelley, like, we're like, it's like checking the trades. What did Shelley say? What was Shelley's reaction to it?
We've had that conversation. Yeah.
Yes.
You and I have had the conversation of like, oh, Shelley's not going to like this outcome.
Yes. It's like clockwork.
Oh, it's great. Well, here's, boys, let me tell you why you're wrong.
Yep.
You know what? Yes, ma'am. All right.
Bless our hearts.
Bless our hearts. And interesting that you mention Avenue Q and live theater for this question. Best place to sit for live theater if money is no object. My knee-jerk reaction is to say front row center.
Right.
I generally want to sit front row center. That has its pitfalls as far as seeing the grand scope of the stage. So if you're seeing something like Les Mis,
right,
see it from a few rows back in the middle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you can take in more of the space and the environment around you. Like specifically, if you go to see Moulin Rouge on Broadway, it's a big, epic, lavish production that extends out beyond the proscenium stage. There's a big windmill on one side and a big elephant on the other side. There's, they've extended this theater out into the house. And a lot of Broadway shows are doing, different things like Rocky, put people up on stage. And we just went to a show last week, Dual Reality, where it had some of the audiences up on the stage sitting there. I don't know. Maybe if it's best place to sit for live theater, if money is no object, is the seats on the stage if you're at a show that has them.
Well, it's definitely in the theater. I think Craig was right about that.
Craig was right about it being in the theater.
I think front row center as a concept feels like that's what you're told. I have the best seats, front row center. I'm front row center. But the truth is, the way things are staged, not only now, but even for the last 20, 30, 40 years, they're much grander productions. You're better off being a little further back so you can take it in. I mean, I saw Starlight Express in London in 1993 or 4. I absolutely loved it. I was blown away by it because it's such an impressive feat to do.
Yeah.
Like full stunt roller skating while also performing. But if we were sitting front row center, you don't want to like crane your neck and look up. And a lot of these stages, I think, are raised a bit more. So I would go like first 10 to 15 rows, but in the middle.
Yeah.
Anywhere in there is like,
it's tough because I do love front row center.
Right.
The shows that I've seen from the front row, I saw Spam-A-Lot from the front row recently. And that felt like I wasn't getting the full scope of it because there was a lot of projection happening. And it's like sitting in the front row at a movie theater.
Yeah.
Other plays that I've seen from the front row with depth on the stage, it was a little easier. I saw Bill. And that's the thing. If you're going to see like a huge performer, I saw Kinky Boots from the front row when Billy Porter was in it. So I'm seeing a Broadway legend from that close. At that point, it's like front row center for a concert, which is, I think, the optimal spot for a concert because you're right up there next to the artist that you've come to see. If you've come to see a specific artist, then front row center is a great idea. If you're seeing a smaller production, I think front row center is a great idea. Like, you go to see Orphans on Broadway. That's a 3-hander. Alec Baldwin,
Billy Baldwin, and Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin, Billy Baldwin, and Stephen Baldwin. It was the all Baldwin production. And if I were not sitting up close, I would not have been able to see all the blood and sweat that each of the Baldwins put into their performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think though, by and large, because I think being a little further back works for any production. Front row center works for some productions. So we'd say middle of those first, I would say rows like 5 through 10. How about that?
I'd say row 7 in the middle.
Yep. Row 7 in the middle it is. Asked and answered.
All right. With nobody sitting in row 6 in the middle.
Everybody else has to leave. It's only for you.
Yeah. Great. Just a performance for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Thank you, Craig and Stephanie. And of course, thank you to Shelley.
Yes. And what's next? Ooh.
Hey, Mark. Hal. This is Jonathan Colton. I just want to say thank you so much for godding this 500 times, and congratulations. I'm asking a question on behalf of Craig Rogers. When parking, front in or back in?
Jonathan Colton, we love you. Thank you, Jonathan Colton, for just being brilliant and smart and kind and funny, and for giving us an opportunity to come on your cruise. Like, how many people do we know that are such great performers that connect other performers so well that they have their own cruise because they are good at performing and at connecting?
Oh my goodness. I can't imagine there are people who listen to the show that have not also listened to Jonathan's music, but it is so beautiful. And like the hilarious stuff is hilarious and smart and well written. And the earnest stuff is beautiful and stays with you. Like, just the breadth of his talent as a singer, songwriter, creative are so impressive. And to top it all off, he is hilarious and a delight to speak with, and was an incredible guest.
Live in New York on stage.
Live on New York and not live on New York. He's done both. He's done the live and the recorded in Jackson Public's home.
With John Hodgman sitting on the stairs yelling throughout.
Yeah. Our stairwell correspondent,
John Hodgman. Jonathan Colton, thank you for being a part of our show. Thank you for the opportunities you gave us and for seizing the moments to come on stage and play with us. And yeah, we're such huge fans. You know who else we're huge fans of? Craig Rogers, because Craig Rogers got another question in here, Hal. He must have just been sitting in front of his keyboard, cup of coffee in hand, just firing off questions.
If I know Craig, yes.
All right. Head in or back into a parking spot.
I'm going to say this, and I don't know if I can be any more clear or concise. You are saving yourself 0 time backing into that space, because it takes longer to back into it to just have the convenience of being able to pull out head first as it does to pull in head first and have to back out later. I get why you would want to do it, but it does not save you the time that you think it saves you. And people who are going to come across you in a perpendicular way are not going to stop because they see the front of the car moving any more than they will when they see the back of the car moving, because they are a selfish driver who just wants to get past wherever they're going is more important than where you're going. So I think there's a reason why a lot of spaces say head in. Don't take the time to park backwards in here, because it's harder to get it. You have a much better view of the cars on either side of you when you're pulling in head first. It's the better way to go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Though the backup camera is nice. If you have a good backup camera,
I do.
That is nice for backing into a space.
Right.
I mean, if you're pulling a heist, I know this keeps coming up, and because
do you want to make an admission now? Because this is multiple times you've talked about pulling a heist.
Look, the point is, I don't want your dumb hatchback that you have to push the button and wait for the hatchback to close. Because if I'm doing my heist, then the gold bars are already falling out of the thing.
Where are you stealing these gold bars from?
From the bank, man. Come on. It's Swiss gold. You know that stuff is ill-gotten.
God,
My point being, if I'm pulling a heist, I'm going to back into the parking spot so I can get out of it faster.
Right. For non-criminals.
Oh, then probably just pulling in head first.
Yeah, asked and answered, please.
Yeah, just get you out of the pulling in head first is the more smooth and efficient, gets you out of everyone else's way quickest.
That's right.
Yeah. And if we've learned anything about the show, it's that Hal and I do not want to be a nuisance to anyone.
Yeah, please. We'll just be in the corner here. Don't mind us.
Just head into the parking space, asked and answered.
Next.
Hey, Hal and Mark, congratulations on 500 shows. This is Trace Ballou asking a question for Avery W. Krause. For a burger, cheddar or American cheese?
Well, there we go. If we get TV's Frank, and we get Trace.
Before we talk about Trace, can we just quickly say that it's cheddar cheese, asked and answered?
No,
American cheese isn't cheese.
Zero. Can we say that?
American cheese isn't cheese.
American cheese it's American cheese. It's pasteurized processed cheese food. It also happens to melt a heck of a lot better than cheddar does. And cheddar sweats and cheddar doesn't have sure. But then the cheddar sweat and the cheddar, that grease pools.
Yeah.
And it gets, that's not a selling point. The emulsifiers in American cheese is not allowed to be called cheese because it has sacrificed that for us so that it can have the proper emulsifiers to melt perfectly on a burger. I would argue that American cheese's only job is to be the superior burger cheese.
What a Jurassic Park moment. You spent so much time thinking about whether we could. You didn't think about whether we should. Guess what?
Yeah,
cheese is
we
messy.
should.
Cheese has pull. Cheese sweats. Cheese is what you're supposed to put on that burger. You don't go to any place that serves like a real good burger and they're like, yeah, we're putting American cheese on there.
Yeah, they don't put cheddar cheese on the place that serves the really good burger either. The really good burger is going to give you something like, I don't know, it's going to be like some aged Gruyere or some like if you go to Umami, it's a Parmesan wheel. Like, just give me a perfect slice of American cheese on a burger. It's not cheddar. It is not cheddar. Hal, this 4-hour episode is going to be a 10-hour episode. It is not cheddar.
A sweater because we're putting on some cheddar. You love that.
Just because American cheese food doesn't rhyme with as many things as cheddar.
It's not even cheese. It says cheddar or American.
All right, sell me. Look,
I don't know if
sell me on cheddar cheese over American, knowing that the American slice is literally its best job.
Yeah,
its best thing that it does is melt into a burger and onto a burger.
Actually, has cheese pull because it's cheese.
Yeah,
actually has a better bite and depth of flavor because it's cheese.
Sure, it does have better depth of flavor.
Better complement, like a little sweat. Burgers are messy, sweaty. There's wet lettuce in there.
So why add? Why add to that?
Because it doesn't really add much. You have so much stuff going on there. I've never encountered a place where I'm like, this cheddar is way too sweaty to have on this burger. Yes, it does sweat. There is a sweat to it. If you make it at home, it'll certainly do that before. But it's not sweating like profusely. It's not dripping everywhere.
No, but it does. That oil seeps out. Look. There are so many cheeses that melt better than cheddar cheese. And there are no cheeses, I would argue, that melt better than American cheese.
Cheese product, not cheese.
All right. Would you put cheddar on a Philly?
Over American? I would.
Well, Whiz is just liquid American cheese.
I would do provolone. Provolone's another.
Provolone's not a choice.
Do American on
Are you forsaking Philly?
Are you some places?
I'm not talking about at Philly cheesesteak places. I'm talking about on this
Whiz. Hold on, Whiz is liquid, like a cheddar, but it's supposed to be a cheddar liquid, not American.
It is the exact same thing as it is also pasteurized processed cheese food. How are you going to disrespect the people of Philadelphia by picking a poorly melty cheese like cheddar? If you would have a cheddar,
if you're putting Cheese Whiz on a burger. Do you want to answer Cheese Whiz? I'll say Cheese Whiz. I won't say American cheese. And I like
Cheese Whiz is,
but cheddar is better.
No, incorrect.
Ugh, I can't believe we're not going to make it to episode 501 because we're both going to die recording this.
Look, Avery W. Krause needs to know the correct answer. For a burger, Hal, it's American cheese. That can go on any burger.
All right. I'll walk with you on this, even though you're walking alone. How about that? You've bullied me into it. You have in many other episodes. American cheese asked and answered. Now let's
as I have on many episodes. Hold on.
Say nice things about Trace.
I love Trace. Look,
I do too.
The fact that Trace is brilliant and hilarious and a wonderfully kind person aside, the fact that you had an epic adventure with Trace and Frank that I will never experience aside, or that I would love to experience that I have not yet experienced aside, the fact that Trace, one of my favorite experiences with Trace was we shared a lovely breakfast after a Dragon Con. We had a great breakfast one morning, and he's just a gentleman.
Yeah.
Trace is a proper gentleman. All of these things aside, all of the wonderful things about Trace aside, you know what? Not aside. I'm putting all those wonderful things about Trace to the forefront. You're really going to serve that wonderful person a burger with some sweaty, limp, barely even melted cheddar on top when you could give him a burger with that glistening gold, melty just right into the nooks and crannies, but perfectly emulsified so that it doesn't sweat up your lettuce on top of that burger. You would do that to Trace?
I would do that for Trace. Also, I think you're getting your cheddar cheese the same place you were getting that weird soft nose bread from Tennessee.
Yeah. Right next to Kern's Bakery is Kern's Creamery.
Sweaty Eddie's Cheddar Factory. Hey, everybody, I just ran 3 marathons. I just got finished with an Ironman, and then I put the cheese under my arm and right on your burgers.
Look, man, cheddar cheese is great in its cold form. American cheese has one job. Let it do its one job. It's to melt over American sandwiches.
Sure.
And a burger is a sandwich.
Whoa. Calm down. We're not ready for that. What's next?
Asked and answered. American cheese.
I'm Paul Dini.
And I'm Misty Lee.
Happy 500 episode, guys.
500? You know what? That actually kind of works, doesn't it? Okay. Well, we're here to ask a question from Ferdinand Uwe. Best breakfast potatoes, diner-style home fries, shredded hash browns, regular hash browns, or tater tots? What you got?
Oh, fantastic. Paul and Misty. I mean, both of their episodes. Here's what I love about these guys. Both of their episodes, we frequently, when we do this show, we will pick topics that our guests know nothing about, right? That will be like Ted Leo talking about cereal. Again, I'm using it as the example. But in the case of Paul's episode and Misty's episode, we got experts in their topics and we got expert level analysis. So we really did find the objective answers to subjective questions. They're both so smart. They're both so fun. And those episodes in particular felt like we were no tongues in any cheeks, definitively answering the questions.
Yes. I will say for Misty, on a personal note, is the kind of person where if she is in your corner, there's like no better advocate you could have or friend. And you know that when she says something nice to you or supportive of you, that she means it. And she's like upset if you don't see it too. She's like mad at you that you don't see it as well. And that is a wonderful quality for a friend to have. Now, as for Ferdinand, breakfast potatoes, diner style home fries, shredded hash browns, regular hash browns, or tater tots. I like a shredded hash brown. I like it because you get like the soft pieces underneath and then you get the nice piece of crust on top. You can cut squares in it. You can mash it all up. I think that's the superior breakfast potato. I don't need all the onions and bell peppers in it. I'll get that in an omelet if I want it. What do you think?
You know what? It's refreshing after the great cheddar versus American debacle
of 2024
to be completely in sync. I could not agree more that it's shredded hash browns. First of all, what shredded hash browns versus regular hash browns? What's regular hash browns being the squares?
I guess.
Would that be it?
Just
which is basically a flat tater tot. Tater tots and those regular hash brown squares, too much grease, too much crispy. I like a better ratio of potato to greasy crispy. And diner style home fries with the onions and the pepper. That feels like a dinner side.
Yeah, it's too much.
Too much.
Too much potato.
Give me some shredded hash browns. Also, another bonus for shredded hash browns. Great in a breakfast burrito.
Yeah, especially with some American cheese in there.
Yeah, now you're learning.
What's next?
Hey, fellow freshmen. It's me, Annie Savage, wishing you guys a happy 500th episode. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I have a listener question for you, and that is Carla Toll asks, crayon, marker, or colored pencil? Good question, Carla. And hi, Ken.
Oh, thanks, Annie. Annie's family.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've been performing with Annie for 23 years. We've been doing shows. We came up through Second City together. She's always been, just one of the best scene partners. Great chemistry. We were Acker and Blacker for the first 4 or 5 years of the Thrilling Adventure Hour. And what is incredible about Annie, professionally, outside of being a great friend and an incredible mother, is her ability to, I've likened her to like a Terminator. Like the way she's able to learn and process and add to her bag as a performer. I don't know many people I've seen that are able to do that. Like she'll come into something and be like, well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can. And then like a half hour later, she's doing it like she's been doing it for a million years. And it's hilarious and perfect and great. That's how powerful she is as a performer. Always like pluses everything she does.
Absolutely. And you talk about her as a performer, superlative, brilliant. Like the Thrilling Adventure Hour wouldn't be the Thrilling Adventure Hour without Annie. We would not be the performers we are without Annie.
Oh, yeah.
But professionally aside, personally, she's one of our nearest and dearest and always has been.
Yeah.
Watching her and Fred parent is one of the great joys of life and one of the great examples, I think, of just doing everything with kindness and joy and gusto and honesty and fairness and yeah.
And their daughter is wonderful. Like just such a great kid and such a great,
my goddaughter, Millie.
I think about this a lot, like how lucky she is. And my understanding is she is well aware of this, that she's going to look back on the childhood that she had when she's older with such great appreciation for how wonderful it is to have like parents that can be your parents and your guardians, but also your friends and collaborators and co-conspirators is a real gift. And that is a gift that Annie and Fred give.
We love you.
Willingly and openly. We love you.
Carla Toll asks, crayon, marker, or colored pencil? This is tough.
I like crayons.
I like crayons too. Like, I feel like for creating art, like for creating good art, I feel like nice colored pencils. I mean, that is a respectable medium in graphic arts is colored pencils, right? Marker, you get that boldness. You know, you get that like thick, bold, the colors are really vibrant, but they're not handing me a 4-pack of markers when I go to a restaurant. They're handing me a 4-pack of crayons.
Yeah.
I don't get excited seeing markers. You know what? Markers and colored pencils look like school supplies. A box of crayons looks like fun.
Yes. And at any age, especially as you get older, when you get some crayons, you become a child again.
Yeah.
It's a fountain of youth that you hold in your hand.
Yeah. People use colored pencils to do their schedules. People use crayons to create fridge art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. Now I want some crayons.
I know, right?
And crayons come in all those great colors. Come on. Burnt sienna.
Blue.
Raw umber. Blue.
Silver. Brown. Orange. Green.
The slightly problematic flesh.
Yeah. Yellow, green.
Brick red. Okay, we could just name colors all night.
Gladstone's interior in the early aughts. They have every color. Asked and answered. It's crayons.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Carla. And thank you, Annie.
Always.
What's next, Ken?
Alrighty, Danielle Radford, we got this 500th episode. Let's go. Leslie Troutman asks, best cursor control for a computer, mouse, touchpad, or track point? Parentheses, mousey button. Exclamation point. Question mark.
Danielle look at this. Dipping a toe from your other podcast over into this one to say hello. You obviously know Danielle a lot better than I do. I simply know Danielle as a wonderful guest on this show, a kind, open, and warm and fun and joyful person.
Yeah, I love doing Tights and Fights because it gives me a chance to every week talk about something I've been a huge fan of my entire life. But the best part of having done Tights and Fights for 7 or 8 years now are the friendships that I have with Danielle and Lindsay and Julian and Mike. Like, those are the best.
Yeah.
And Danielle is like unbelievably hilarious. And like, she knows that she is funny, but I just love watching her grow professionally, and more people like see how great she is and giving her the work she deserves, which is still not as much work as she should have. Like, she should be constantly on every show and be writing on everything, and everybody should be booking her for things. And as great as she is at comedy, she is equally like, anytime that I've had a tough time, she's one of the first people to reach out and check in and see how I'm doing. Like, just a very caring and loving friend, and grateful to have her in my life and as a podcast host, co-host, and as a guest on this show. So thank you, Danielle, for being part of this.
Thank you, Danielle. Massive person of the world, Leslie Troutman, coming in with another classic. Best cursor control for computer, mouse, touchpad, or track point, the mousy button.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound very Apple centric right now. I love the Magic Mouse.
Yes.
Because it's so intuitive. It can do so many things. Right now, actually, I can tell you, you have 2 of them. Look at you.
I use my work computer too. Yeah.
So I have 2 computers. I have a PC and I have a Mac. When I'm on my PC, I vastly prefer the mouse to just the finger button trackpad. The little trackpad or touchpad with sliding your finger around on that, like you would have on a Mac laptop or any laptop, I guess. But I'm not a fan of those. It just doesn't have the versatility. It doesn't have the sensitivity. Doesn't have all the little things that, like my hand making micro motions on a Magic Mouse. I know exactly where everything's going.
Yeah.
I say a Magic Mouse specifically because you can slide, like you can do multiple gestures. The 2 and 3 finger gestures are huge.
Yeah, you get those swipe gestures, but even just a regular mouse is way better. The touch, the track point and the trackpad are both sort of vestiges of, we've got to figure out how to make everything work in a laptop. And now all of a sudden we have, people are using a mouse as an input device. So how can we make that work? The track point, that little rubber button, is the absolute worst.
Oh, that thing is terrible. I used to have one of those. I used to have a laptop that had that.
Sure. And then what do? You get a mouse and plug it in.
Yeah.
You can't be bothered to deal with it. Yeah, the mouse is the best. We still haven't figured out something that is better than the mouse. And when we do, I will gladly move to it, but I don't know when that's going to happen unless you let me control it with my mind, finally.
Yeah,
I've
right?
been asking for at
They'll
least
figure
5
it out.
seconds now. Goodness. It's the mouse, asked and answered. Thank you, Leslie.
100%.
And thank you, Danielle. Love you.
Amen.
Who's next?
Hello, Mark and Al. It's Doc Hammer, your old friend, gentleman farmer, hotshot pilot, and the guy from the Venture Brothers. So I have a little question here for you. Carla Toll asks, red tomato or yellow tomato? Happy 500. 500!
Oh, Doc Hammer. The delightful Doc Hammer. That's a voice I haven't heard in a little while. I was excited to hear it.
Yeah.
I see Jackson relatively frequently, but I haven't seen Doc in a good long time. Glad he's feeling better.
Yes.
Doc Hammer is just hanging out with those guys. Again, just infinitely cool and funny. And yeah, what can you say about Doc Hammer?
Oh man. Doc is one of those guys I have like this just odd soul connection with. Just love him. Easy to talk to him. Always interested in what's going on. Again, he's always been very kind and nice and easy to talk to and hilarious.
Curious.
Yeah. I mean, he is supportive enough a friend to have done an entire bonus episode of the show that is on the feed with Ken dissecting our decisions. So, I mean, just again, grateful to have him in my life. Obviously,
so grateful
for that we got to play in the Venture Brothers sandbox, but with that or not, just to have both of those people in our lives and get to call them friends and be able to talk to them, even if it's not as frequently as I would like, is just incredible. And
amen.
Just top flight, grade A, first class people.
100%. Thank you, Doc. I know you're listening, so thank you. We love you. We are so excited that you enjoy this show, that someone we think is as cool and funny as you are likes a thing that we do. And it's fun to call you friend, brother.
Yes, sir.
Carla Toll asks, red tomato or yellow tomato?
Red?
Red, man. Red tomato. Ripe. Fully ripe?
Fully ripe tomato.
Though there are fully ripe yellow tomatoes. I find them a little tartar.
Yeah, they're not as good. That's how you can tell that they're yellow tomatoes. You give me a taste test, I'll tell you which one's the red one and which one's the yellow one.
Yeah.
Yellow tomatoes are fine, but they're just not as good as red tomatoes. Red tomatoes.
No, the best tomatoes I've had, there's a reason that it's a picture of a tomato is a red tomato. If you had a picture of a yellow tomato, people would be like, is that a picture of a persimmon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what's a persimmon? Where did I draw that from? I don't think I've ever seen one before.
I was just drawing a yellow tomato. And then you go, yellow tomato? Isn't that just an unripe tomato? You go, no. There are ripe yellow tomatoes. They're just a little tartar.
Yeah. They go, you know what? I would know a red tomato because I used to have them at Gladstone's in the early aughts.
At the early aughts. Yeah.
They didn't know. They had a no yellow tomato policy. So it led to them being closed. Big Yellow Tomato came after them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Attack of the Killer Yellow Tomatoes. You'd think that the yellow tomatoes would be scared.
Yeah.
But no.
You would. No, they're oddly brave.
Turns out.
But you know what? We're brave too. We're not afraid of you yellow tomatoes. Red tomatoes are better asked than answered.
We're going to kick you out and say red tomatoes.
It's Doc again. I don't know what you answered, but here's the actual answer. It is the heirloom tomato. They come in both yellow and red, so everybody's included. Asked and answered. That is the correct answer.
Oh!
Whoa!
You know, it's funny. I almost mentioned heirloom tomatoes.
You did not.
I did. I thought about them, and then I thought, yeah, but all the best heirloom tomatoes I've had have not been red or yellow. They've been purple.
Yeah.
Mostly the purple heirlooms are the ones that I find the most flavor in.
Scary.
But you know what, Doc? You said it. Asked and answered.
Boom.
Yeah. The red tomato or yellow tomato, the answer is heirloom.
Yeah. Next.
Hello, Hal. Hello, Mark. It's Mike Furman. Congratulations on the 500 episodes.
Yeah.
500. The big Roman D. Now then, Timothy Utton asks, best Dairy Queen soft serve. Is it chocolate, vanilla, or mixed? You got this.
Oh, man. Furman. That's so good. Of course he made a whole musical production of it.
Yeah.
You're a wizard. You're a delightful joy wizard in your weird lab, and I just want to hang out in your weird lab all day.
Yeah. He wrote the theme song. I think we were like 3 episodes in. I don't know that he had listened to any of them, but just was told the concept of the show. This is the version I like to imagine. He was told the concept of the show and then wrote the theme song, which is the best theme song. I wish more people listened to our show, if only so they could hear that theme song that he wrote. And I wish everybody would listen. Like, God, Mike is so talented. He is so good. All of his comedy stuff is great. The stuff he wrote for kids, his kids' music.
His kids' album, Songs to Sing at Children it's so good. If you have kids of any age, play them some Mike Furman. He's so fun.
Just brilliant.
Well, thank you, Mike, for the question from Timothy Utton, who I like to believe is Cockney Timothy Hutton.
Hello, Timothy Utton here.
Right, Timothy Utton.
People in it.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we're the millionth people to say that to you, Timothy Utton.
I hope we're the first.
I hope we're the first. Chances are slim of that.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen soft serve, chocolate, vanilla, or mixed. I don't know specifically the Dairy Queen flavors more than others, but I love a good, I think one of the greatest inventions is the soft serve machine. And one of the greatest add-ons to one of the greatest inventions is the swirler that gives you both flavors, that can twist both flavors in. I think it's unique. It's cool. When I was a kid, that was what I always got. I always got the swirl because it's the best of both worlds. You get a little chocolate, you get a little vanilla.
Yep. Yeah. No matter where you go, the swirl is the answer. If you had to pick one and you couldn't do a swirl, I would do vanilla. It's such a classic.
Dairy Queen's vanilla specifically is so classic.
And then like the Dilly Bar and stuff, they're dipped in chocolate, so you get chocolate with it. Mm-hmm. But I would go the twist every time because you get a little bit of
that swirl.
It tastes great. Asked and
Oh,
answered.
yeah.
And by the way, I also want to say, as talented as Mike is, he's also one of the kindest, nicest people.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
100%.
we had lunch recently We had lunch. Yeah, you were there.
We went and got, not relatively recently then.
Relatively recently. And
Right.
just such a pleasure to I'm always so happy to see him and get to talk to him and just sort of catch up. He is one of the people in life that I'm rooting for incredibly hard all the time.
Oh, yeah. He's the couldn't happen to a nicer person poster child.
That's right.
Yeah. This is asked and answered, though. It's definitely the mixed. And we love you, Mike Furman. And we love you, too, Timothy Utton.
That's right. Hello, don't we?
Don't we there? Right. What's next?
Hey, guys. It's two-time mystery guest Jason Ritter here, and I have a question for you. Karen Mosteller Grantham asks, blanket or pillow?
Blanket or
Answer her!
Oh, man. I love this dude.
Again, I feel like we're on a repeat, but we've been lucky to know personally and work with professionally people like Jason who are wildly talented. He's got such a crazy sense of humor. He's one of the most fun people to follow on social media. His attempt to make a viral dance out of the Matlock theme was just incredible.
Multiple times, I believe.
Still try, including reenacting Melanie reacting to it rather than filming her watching it. He just did the reaction of her, which is also just so nice and so crazy talented. Again, somebody you're rooting for every step of the way and couldn't be more down to earth and comes from great people and is great people.
Yeah.
And he and Melanie are such a wonderful couple because they are both so kind and so wonderful. Two loving people who are together just warms your heart.
They're just what can we say except great things about them both. I just saw Jason recently, and this is one thing I love about that dude. The first thing he said to me when I walked up to him was not, hey man, how's it going? That was the first thing he says to me when I walk up to him. He goes, hey, did you know that those Easter Island heads actually used to have bodies attached? Now they're just buried underneath. And I was like, this is why I love you, that your brain just had to get that out.
So amazing.
Yeah. So it's good to see you, Jason. I'm glad you're in our lives.
Yeah.
Karen Mosteller Grantham asks, blanket or pillow? This one feels pretty easy also.
Pillow.
No, blanket.
Oh, really?
A blanket can become a pillow. A pillow can't become a blanket.
Asked and answered. I'm in. What's next?
Or was it that easy?
Hey, Mark. Hey, Hal. It's Yuri Lowenthal.
And Tara Platt. And happy 500th episode.
Happy 500th. 500 episodes? I can't think of anything I've done that's had 500 anything. But we are here today to ask you guys a question.
From Ray Smotherman, who asks,
Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy? Did you guys give that to me because of the thing? The Spider-Man thing?
Thwip.
Thwip, thwip. Anyway, okay. Fast, because you gotta do these fast. Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy?
Oh man, Yuri and Tara, again, two wonderful people, crazy talented.
Crazy talented power couple of joy.
Not only because of Darren DePaul's J. Jonah Jameson, but Yuri and Tara's performances in the Spider-Man video games are so good. He has carved out a niche as a top tier Spider-Man, which there are so many incredible actors who have played that role. It's such a great role, and he made it his own. And it just makes me smile. I like playing the game as much because it's a great game as to hear my friends in it. And they're both just so talented and so generous and so kind and just, again, people you're rooting for all the time.
Yeah. I can't root for these guys enough. We had I remember going back years and years with them to the Story Pirates days at the Echoplex, just doing their outreach to kids. Just their willingness to jump into that world is a testament to the great and talented people they are. And it's great because the kids don't know how lucky they are until you nudge one and go, you know who that is, right? That's the voice of and then like, what? And watching kids get real excited about our friends is really fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And watching our friends share their talents with kids is really fun. Shall we jump in? Ray Smotherman asks, Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy?
Oh man, Gwen Stacy is your first love or the person you wind up with. I think I have to go with Mary Jane.
Why is that?
Just Gwen Stacy's a little bit more tragic. I mean, if you're going by their appearances in film, I loved Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. She was really well cast. It was heartbreaking when she met the same end that she did in the comic books. You do with Gwen Stacy, there are alternate worlds where she has the spider powers, of course, and where she's Spider-Gwen. There are cool versions of Gwen. If you're doing just the original 616, I would say Mary Jane Watson. If you were doing the multiverse, I'd say Gwen Stacy.
I defer to you on this one. You know this world a lot better than I do.
Let's include the multiverse because we've had the Spider-Man movies. We'll go with Gwen Stacy. I switched it up. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm going to go Gwen Stacy.
We do get, like, there is a spider version of Gwen. There's not a spider version of Mary Jane, right?
Not that I remember. I'm sure there is somewhere, but Spider-Gwen is a pretty well-known character. Yeah. And now has been immortalized in the animated films. Very well.
Who's Mary Jane in the movie?
In the original Spider, Kirsten Dunst.
So that's okay. So I'm trying to remember it's just the two, right? It's just Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy are Spider-Man's two.
Those are the main ones. Felicia Hardy, also the Black Cat, is sort of an on again, off again interest. But the two main ones, if you were to pick them out, would be Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy.
I like Mary. I think I'm a Mary Jane guy more so though. Yeah, because I like all the different portrayals. I thought that Kirsten Dunst was great. I think Zendaya's great.
Yeah, that version of the character is really
her. Her like sullen but good friend. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, her version of the character is really fun.
Yeah,
but there's not a Spider Mary Jane. There was a Spider Gwen.
There you go. Asked and answered.
All right, Spider Gwen.
Next.
Hal and Mark, congratulations. This is Scott Adsit from the legendary landmark episode 133, Best Superpower. You know, not a week in my life goes by without me running into someone on the street who stops dead in their tracks, points at me and says, "You got this?" And I say, "Hey, we got this." And then we high five yelling, "Hal and Mark." So thank you for that. Amanda Jenkins wants to know, what's the best dinner plate shape? And if you have time after that, just for me, best robot, real or fictional. There you go. Thank you, guys. This has been a real thrill for me, and I hope to be on your wonderful show again after another 370 episodes.
You know what? Let's have him on and talk robots.
We'll have Scott Adsit on to talk robots.
Yeah, we're going to save that for you, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Like, talk about someone you're a huge fan of, and then you get to meet and perform with them on stage. Who he is as an improviser, which is, like, just this brilliant, quick mind, but also super generous, is who he is as a person, which is, like, I think a lot of people that sort of reflects what they're able to give. Like, Mark Evan Jackson, one of the most giving people, like, in the world. And the persona that he has is one thing, but the way he is on stage and how giving he is, even when playing different personas, are the same. You know, it's in there. That generosity is in there. It's apparent in how he performs and what he gives to everybody else around him. And Scott is like that.
Yeah. Scott is kinder than he is talented, and he's crazy talented. Scott Adsit was, when I was a freshman, I was a senior in high school, and I went to the Second City and I saw Citizen Gates. And then I went to Second City and I saw Paradigm Lost.
Wow.
And from the time I was a freshman in college, I was a huge Scott Adsit fan. Later on, through Thrilling Adventure Hour, I got to work with him, and then we got to improvise together. Wow. And it, like, one of the joys of my improv life is that I've gotten to improvise with Scott Adsit on multiple occasions.
Yep.
And then, like, I threw a fundraiser in New York for Build On at the Bell House, and no questions asked. He was like, absolutely, jumps in. What can I do? Happy to be a part of this. Like, I can't say enough great things about Scott Adsit.
Yep.
What a talent. What a kind, great person. And I'm so excited to have him back on the show to talk about Best Robot, which we will not cover right now.
Yes, but we will do soon. Well, right now we'll talk about dinner plate shape. This may surprise you. We have, circle's the easy one, but we have these 4 square plates. They're the first ones to go that wind up in the dishwasher because they're they've got the corners to them. It's just a little bit more surface area for food. Good for you because you can separate it in a more clean way.
Sure.
Square is surprisingly good. I don't know why it hasn't caught on more.
I like square. I don't mind square. I mean, round is the default. I also like oblong. I like a platter, but that's usually reserved for larger And if I'm eating directly off a platter, I feel like I should be checking out my life choices. They're like, why are you just eating off the platter, man? That goes platter to plate to mouth, not platter to mouth.
And by the way, that's where they're slicing the roast beef off at the Old Country Buffet. Please stop eating off of it.
Listen, man,
off.
I wanted an oblong plate. You guys don't have oblong plates.
Well,
you know who does have oblong plates?
Oh,
Gladstones in the early aughts.
Will you go with me on square?
You know what?
Yeah.
Sell me a little more on it being the bet. Like, I realize, like, the ubiquity of round is there for a reason. How does square beat round?
I think you can fit more food on the plate. You can also, when you're getting the last little bits at the end, you can get it into a corner and get it up easier. The round plate, it's like you're sort of moving it around and like sort of hoping to get it off. I think the corner kind of helps with that a little bit.
Okay. I like that. You know what else I realized that is a selling point for it? A plate spends most of its life not fulfilling its function and being stored in a cabinet.
Yeah.
For storage purposes, square is infinitely better than round. Think of all the negative space in your cabinet right now because your plates are round.
We're not a negative podcast. We're a positive podcast.
I'm going to say rounded corner because I don't want anyone to get hurt. So rounded corner squares.
They are rounded corner squares, the ones that I have.
Best plate shape, rounded corner squares.
It's also the shape of a slice of American cheese, which you should go nuts for.
Oh, yeah, but they don't round the corners on that. I want those sharp corners. Not like cheddar sharp, because that's garbage.
Too sweaty.
Too sweaty. I don't want that sweaty, sharp garbage.
What's that?
All right.
Ted?
Asked and answered.
This is Paget Brewster with a question for Helen Gags. EJ Salazar asks, marinara sauce or Alfredo sauce? Happy 500th, boys.
Thanks, Paget.
Oh, Paget.
Oh, we love Paget. Family. Family for 20 years.
Family, and like so sweet, so supportive, like number one booster to the Thrilling Adventure Hour. And like a great example of a person who owns who they are and loves who they are. Like
100%.
I can't, I'm like stumbling over the words to say how wonderful she is and how much she means to both of us, which obviously a great deal, and how generous she's been coming on the show. It's not the holiday season until Paget comes on.
It's a tradition
with us.
Yeah.
And she's always a blast. And always has fun and just comes into it with energy, and the way she approaches everything, like comes into it with energy and gives it her all.
Amen. I second everything you said and double it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, Paget. Yeah. You should have doubled it. See? Yeah. I like Paget double as much as you do.
Yeah.
EJ Salazar asks, marinara sauce or Alfredo sauce? This is a no-brainer, man.
1, 2, 3.
Marinara. Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Come on. Ask and answered. Alfredo sauce is
Tommy Trouble.
Alfredo sauce is like, it's for the kids menu.
Yeah.
If your kid won't eat marinara, give him the Alfredo sauce, but as a last resort.
If you really want Alfredo, have like a cacio e pepe.
Yeah, which is not Alfredo sauce. It's cacio e pepe.
Exactly.
Hold on one second.
Marinara. Are you getting a telegram?
I was going to try to prove a point that Alfredo sauce isn't real Italian food by doing some quick flash research, but it turns out it was invented by a guy named Alfredo in Rome in 1908. So it's not traditionally
too new.
It's too new. Yeah. I don't know why. It just feels like I had a hunch that it was made in America. It feels like it was invented in America. Like Alfredo sauce feels like, hey, do you want something that's kind of like cacio e pepe, but like overdone, like the mayonnaise version of it?
You want milk on your noodles?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just milk on your noodles.
Yeah.
That's what Alfredo is. Marinara. I mean, oh, come on. That's a recipe that families pass down from generations to one another. Or in my case, you just do a mixture of your dad's version and Clemenza's recipe from The Godfather.
Hey, you're getting milk in my noodles, detective.
Hey, you're getting noodles in my Wait a minute. Boys, get in here. Yes, sir, Captain Alfredo. Yeah, it's marinara. Asked and answered. Thanks, EJ. Again, super person of the world.
Yes. Next.
Hey guys, this is Ted Leo again. I realized that I mixed up two Cars songs in the question from Leslie Harkins that I asked previously. I sort of knew that I was doing it while I was doing it, but I felt like I had to push through on it anyway. But speaking of music, and who doesn't love it? I had a question for you in the realm of sort of sub Springsteens. You know, I've had conversations with people before about how kind of every region or many regions have their own like kind of sub Springsteen. You know, the Americana, like local knowledge rocker who brings to their region what Springsteen, you know, brought to and did for New Jersey. I'm excluding Billy Joel from this because I think he's his own thing. I'm a late in life convert to Billy Joel, and that is largely because I realized that he's basically just writes show tunes. And once I thought of it like that, it changed everything about Billy Joel for me. And now I walk around singing Vienna, you know, all the time. So I'm excluding Billy Joel from this. But two people who I think are sub Springsteens, and I would like you to consider just, you know, their greatest hits. One would be the Rhode Island sub Springsteen, John Cafferty of John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, who of course had the song from the soundtrack to Eddie and the Cruisers, On the Dark Side. Dark side's coming down, nothing is real. That one. Slip to the dark side and cross that line on the dark side. That one. And the other one would be Indiana's John Cougar, pre-Mellencamp. So I'd probably have to go with like Jack and Diane for that one. It's a, you know, that's a real regional jam, as it were, sucking on chili dogs and all. Now, I would like you to consider each of these artists based on only those songs, if you can. Alternately, if you can't, or if it's just too easy to not think much about John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, then let's choose between two John Cougar songs, those being Jack and Diane and Little Pink Houses. Was he in Mellencamp at that point? I don't know. Anyway, that's my request. Please feel free to honor none of it. And we'll be happy to hash this out in person the next time I see you. And congratulations on your 500th episode. Bye.
I mean, I feel like, first of all, delightful to get two from Ted Leo in this. And I got worried there for a second. I thought we were going deep into the weeds on this. I thought we were going deep into that's the thing. He is an expert. He knows his rock and roll. He knows, like, he is a literal rock star. So he knows rock stars. Like, he knows the genre, the styles. I just saw John Mellencamp. I just saw him live in concert. So this would have been I don't know if it was pre-Cougar or what. I feel like Jack and Diane it's an iconic, quintessential Americana song. I think it has grown beyond Indiana.
Yes.
It has grown beyond its region. He has grown beyond his region. Now in his tours, he's in his 70s. He wears coveralls. He looks like a convict that's been in the prison the longest.
In Indiana.
Yeah. But he performed Jack and Diane at the concert.
Yeah.
And I don't know Little Pink Houses as well, obviously.
Right.
But he performed Jack and Diane at the concert. And when he did it, he cleared the band off the stage, gave the band a break, pulled out a guitar, and a cappella did Jack and Diane. And the way that I've set this up, it sounds like he wanted to have an intimate moment with his audience, with him and his biggest hit. But it did not take long before I realized what he was doing was, let's just get this out of the way. It was the most half-assed, I'm giving my band a break to say, like, guys, I have to play this. You guys don't have to play this. Go take a break. I'll go give them Jack and Diane real fast and just with me on a guitar. It sounded like the way that he performed so well everything else in this concert. But Jack and Diane, the way that he did it, it was almost as if he was deliberately giving a middle finger to the fact that everybody wanted to hear this song and that he was required. Like, I know a lot of artists don't like to play their biggest hit.
Mm-hmm.
They like to do their new stuff. Or like when I saw Springsteen live, he was like, I'm going to play the album, The River, in its entirety. That's what this concert is. At the end, I'll play some of the hits, but this is what I want to present to you is this as my art. This felt like John Mellencamp just being like, ugh, you idiots want Jack and Diane? All right, let's just get through it. Here's a little day about Jack and Diane. Two American kids going, oh yeah. Okay. Are we done? Great. Can I go back to the songs I wanted to play? But do I put in my mind that version into the pantheon, or do I let the original version, the brilliant Jack and Diane iconic Americana song, does that take the...
Look, him being prisoner to that song doesn't diminish
and
it.
dress like it.
It's more just saying, like, you have to do it for the rest of your... Like, you will do this when you are going into your grave. The organ will be playing like...
Yeah. Ironic, since in this instance, life does not go on.
Yeah, exactly. It has transcended Indiana, like you point out. It is his most well-known song. Like, there's just nothing... Little Pink Houses, I don't think even comes close. I don't think ROCK in the USA comes close. Like, he's just, that is his signature song, whether he likes it or not. If you're Billy Joel and you have that incredible catalog, Piano Man is your song.
Yeah.
You best be playing that in a concert or people are going to be pissed off, even if you don't want to.
Yeah. This Ted Leo realization of Billy Joel just writing songs for musicals.
Yeah.
That he's just writing show tunes is so great. And now I want to go listen to some Billy Joel.
Love
also,
Billy Joel.
Moving Out, the Broadway musical. If you want Billy Joel in Broadway musical form, Moving Out is your musical.
We should have Ted on to talk about Billy Joel music. We haven't covered Billy Joel.
That'd be great. We should with a rock star.
Yeah.
Look at this. We're just lining up episodes left and right.
That's right. In this case, we're going to take Jack and Diane.
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Next.
Hello, fellows. It's Andy Richter here.
Hey.
Congratulations. 500th episode. Hooray. That's quite the podcasting milestone. But more importantly, Avery W. Krause asks, chicken fingers or chicken nuggets? I'm now going back into my spider hole to await your answer.
Oh, man. Sometimes you get somebody like Andy Richter that wants to come and do your podcast, and you just go, you don't ask questions. You know that he's a legend, and you just pull the ripcord and let Andy go. He's so funny. He's so gracious. He's so kind. I loved having Andy on the show. The fact that we got to go to his office too at Warner Brothers. How cool was that? Like, I'm guaranteed the car that I drove in there and parked right at the soundstage on the Warner Brothers lot is the worst car that's ever parked in that spot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Same with me. And he's so natural as a performer, like it appears to come so natural to him. And it makes him someone that you instantly like and are instantly drawn to. And that's the person too. He's just like a good dude, easy to talk to. Like, you know, it's hard to like get over for a second. Like, oh, I've watched you on TV for 30 years.
Yeah. But then you go, oh no, you're just a great, fun dude.
You're just a good dude that's really easy to talk to. And that's what makes someone a great person and also a great podcast guest. And he is both.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on the show, and thanks for doing this, Andy. Yeah. It's a delight to know you. Avery W. Krause asks, chicken fingers or chicken nuggets? I feel like, a chicken finger being a chicken tender, I assume, is what we're talking about.
Yes.
That is an actual cut.
That's right.
That's an actual full piece of chicken that has not been overly processed. A chicken nugget is
chewed up chicken breaded, if you're lucky.
Yeah. It's pink foam. I love a chicken nugget. I'm a McNugget guy through and through.
I enjoy them too, but fingers are better.
But chicken fingers, infinitely better. Yeah.
Better for dipping?
I could, as an adult, feasibly see myself ordering chicken tenders, like a dish made with chicken tenders in a restaurant. I don't know that I could order a dish made with chicken nuggets
Here are
in a
your
restaurant.
chicken nuggies. You want your chicken nuggies?
Yeah. You don't call them fingies, but nuggies I hear a lot.
Well, you could call them fingies. You should.
Chicken
fingies?
Yeah. Chicken fingers is the winner here. Very clear.
100%. Yeah.
Asked and answered.
All right. What's next, Ken?
Hello, Mark and Hal. This is your friend, John Hodgman.
Yeah.
Speaking to you with congratulations on this 500th episode of We Got This. By the way, I'm calling it right now. This is the best episode. Okay, we have a question for you from listener Leslie Trotman. Leslie asks, fast zombies or slow zombies? Begin your debate. Here's something else for you to think about. I know that you already went over the best universal monster, Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, Mummy, Invisible Man. Quasimodo. But here's my question for you. Of all of those, regardless of who is best, which one would you choose to be cursed to live the rest of your life out as? A vampire? A wolfman? A bride of Frankenstein? A Frankenstein's monster? An invisible man? A mummy? A creature from the Black Lagoon? I think that's all of them. Something for you to puzzle over as you contemplate your fates. I wish you many, many, many more episodes. And if you're a vampire, then you can probably do it forever. Think about that. Bye-bye.
What is there to say about John Hodgman?
One of the smartest people you could meet, who's also one of the funniest.
And one of the dearest friends of this show that this show has ever had. He has said, like, when we get to the point where we cannot settle something, John Hodgman has stepped in and been like the super judge. Like, if we are as you have called us, the Supreme Court of dumb, then he is what's above the Supreme Court?
The Supremist Court.
The Supremist Court. Yeah. The most supreme of all the courts.
Superiorem.
Yeah. Hodgman, we love you. You're nearest and dearest. And I mean, like, again, I know we feel like we're starting to sound like a broken record, but all of these people that we've talked about we're so blessed to have them, and few as much as John Hodgman being such an integral part of the show, and just a dear and wonderful friend, and who we love and love spending time with and hanging out with, and can't thank enough for all of his kindness to the show.
That goes triple for me.
Oh no, I should have gone triple.
Too bad.
Let's answer John Hodgman's question first.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to be cursed to be a vampire, wolfman, Das Vampire, wolfman, bride of Frankenstein, a Frankenstein's monster, an invisible man, a mummy, or a creature from the Black Lagoon? I feel like only one of these is powerful and immortal. I got to go with vampire.
Das Vampire,
100%.
Yeah.
Das Vampire.
That's
Das
best.
Vampire.
You just say, look, you don't get a suntan, that's fine. You can do a lot of stuff at night, especially during the winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Summertime's going to suck.
But it
carry an umbrella, right?
Yeah.
The cartoon vampires carry umbrellas.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
As for fast zombies versus slow zombies.
Yes. Thank you again, Leslie Chopman.
Yes. Thank you, Leslie. Fast zombies can go slow. Slow zombies cannot go fast. So that one's easy.
Oh, so that makes it fast zombies are the superior?
Oh, yeah.
This isn't what would you like to be?
No, this is just better. Like, it's much more terrifying when they're like, they're moving fast and jumping over stuff.
Do you remember the first time you saw fast zombies?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was last week.
Well, I don't mean in real life.
Oh. I think it was the remake of like Dawn of the Dead.
Was it? I thought it was 28 Days Later, or it was maybe the Dawn of the Dead remake. I just remember. I don't remember which movie it was, but around that time,
terrifying.
The first time you went, oh no, these zombies are fast.
Right.
Is a great moment in cinema.
Yes.
Like, giving zombies speed was a cool move that collectively the world decided zombie movies needed.
Yeah, it was great.
And then they got way more terrifying.
That's right.
Yeah.
All
right. That is asked
zombies.
and answered.
Boom. What's up next?
Hey, Mark and Hal. This is your friend Carter Parton Rogers. Congratulations on your 500th episode. Stephen Cook asks, salad dressing, oil-based or creamy? This is a question from me, Carter Parton Rogers. Dreams or wishes? Y'all decide.
Oh, Carter.
Man,
I feel like giving her career start opening for us. Like, she's just blossomed.
She has done a great job opening for us every time that she has.
Yeah.
I wish that everybody would follow her and catch on to what she's doing, because it is brilliant.
It's a movement.
I've seen her perform in front of 1,000 people. I've seen her perform in front of, you did too. You remember that show where we saw her perform at like the Comedy Store, I think it was. And, it was just a room full of like filthy comedians. And then she got up and did like 5 minutes and had the entire room singing. Like,
oh yeah.
Just like the fact that she is able to work and connect with audiences no matter where they are and what the setting are is just, it's like a magic trick.
Yeah.
but it's who she is. So it's not a magic trick. It's just who she is. She's been on the show.
Yeah. We love Carter Parton Rogers on the show. Just a bundle of joyful energy and completely unrelated. All the support that your wife, Jennifer, has given this show through the years cannot be understated. If you weren't married, oh man,
watch out.
That Carter Parton Rogers.
Yes. Just
we love you, Carter.
We love you. And we'll answer yours first. I like dreams more than wishes because dreams are something that you aspire to. Wishes are something that feel far away.
I like that. And I would agree with that.
You chase a dream, you have a wish.
Yeah. Wishes don't seem as active as dreams.
Yes.
A dream seems like something active. And also it's only in dreams that you can wind up in your underwear climbing a mountain with Danny Trejo.
That's right. That's something that happened to you recently, buddy?
Not in real life, but it's a wish in real life and an actual dream.
I mean, you're in the same city. It could happen.
That's true. What if I just one day like, oh my gosh, it came true. Trejo and I. Please, Trejo, did you bring tacos?
Or donuts. Either one. Ooh, both.
That's right. He does donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the correct answer. Dreams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a wish, like your brain can make a wish.
Yes.
Your gut can make a wish, but a dream is a wish your heart makes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scientific fact at this point.
So it's dreams, Carter. It's dreams. Yeah. Follow your dreams.
Also, thank you, Stephen Cook. Salad dressing, oil-based or creamy. I love a creamy salad dressing, but my number one is the balsamic vinaigrette, which is more oil-based.
Yeah. I got to go with an oil-based salad dressing. It just makes the salad feel lighter. It's so easy for a creamy salad dressing to overpower the whole thing.
Yes, which sometimes is great. Like Caesar salad, I'm a huge Caesar salad fan, but oddly, having oil on your salad somehow makes it healthier, which if you have the opportunity to have that in your life, take it and run.
Yeah, just a little bit of oil. You don't need a ton, just a little bit. I'm a light dressing guy too.
Yeah.
I do like a creamy dressing, like a slaw. I like a good slaw. I think a creamy dressing might stick better to the salad leaves.
This is true, but it's not going to win this one. It's going to be oil-based.
Yeah. I think there are more better oil-based dressings than there are like creamy dressings, which a lot of them are like mayonnaise-based. Like honey mustard is mostly mayonnaise.
Yes. Who needs
that? Yeah. Oil-based. Asked and answered.
Boom. Who's next?
All right. This Hal is our last. How many have we done? We've done a lot of these. This is amazing. And this is so great that everybody, like, before we do our last topic, we've said nice things about all of the guests that have appeared in tonight's episode. Because we love all of these people, we can't thank them enough for coming on and being a part of our show.
True.
So, yeah, I'll just reiterate. Thank you to all of the guests that have come on tonight. Our last one is coming up right now. I'm so curious to hear who our final one is.
Me too.
Lay it on us, Ken.
Hey, Ken, Mark, Al, how you doing? It's your close personal friend, Al Yankovic. And happy 500th episode. Here's your question. Matt Murph asks, chess or checkers?
I'm not going to lie. I was really hoping that Weird Al would show up on this. I love Weird Al so much.
Yeah, I still can't process the fact that I have met him, shared a stage with him, and been to his house.
I didn't get to go to his house because I was not in town when that episode happened.
That's what you get for living in New York. Anyway.
Oh, man. What a great dude.
Oh, my God. There's like nothing to say about him.
No, he's Weird Al.
Professionally, because you've seen it all. He's Weird Al. He literally changed music and music videos and made a hilarious film and continues to crank out great work just like a machine. But how nice of a guy he is, like whatever you've heard about how nice he is, doesn't convey, I think, properly that, like, for the status he has achieved in life, for him to be such a good guy. And it's weird to, like, success doesn't mean you have to be a bad person, not by any means, but not disconnected in any way. Like, still a connected, grounded person, really nice, very easy to talk to, super kind.
Well, and the fact that his brain is so sharp and is so, like, he has used his brain for good for his entire life.
Yes.
Both professionally, as we all know, but personally, he uses that mega power of his brain to remember things about you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the mark of a true mensch. So thank you, Al. It's an honor to have you on the show. We're big fans, and we can't thank you enough. Matt Murph asks, chess or checkers? I mean, I have more of an affinity and I've played more checkers. But chess is the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
Like the complexity of chess. Like when people talk about the intellectual superiority of one combatant over another, they say one's playing checkers and one's playing chess with the implied superiority built in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And chess is a game, even though it can have an air of snobbiness, like you can go to Washington Square Park and see a bunch of people playing chess. Like it knows no age limit. It knows no gender limit. Like there are great players all across the spectrum everywhere who can fall in love with the game and learn it. And you can figure out the level you're comfortable with and just stay there and play. And it's amazing to watch people who are really good at it. Checkers is fun and fine. Chess, like once you learn it, is really, really fun to play, whether you ever get better at it or not. So I would say chess.
Yeah, I think chess I think it's got to be chess. Checkers, anyone can play. Chess, it just takes a little bit of learning. Anyone can play it. Not everyone can master it. I think that the winner of this, it's got to be chess. Also, nobody gets a decorative checkers set, right?
Yeah.
You get a chess set where it's like, okay, these are all the pawns are the regular gremlins, and then Stripe is the king, and that one gremlin dressed up like a lady is the queen.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine a gremlin's chess set? I bet it's out there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I worked at the Franklin Mint. There were all sorts of weird chess sets. You can make anything into a chess set if you have the license, Mark.
What's the best chess set you saw at the Franklin Mint?
I feel like there was a Star Trek one that they had.
Oh, yeah?
That was cool. But I remember the plates more than anything and the memories.
Sure.
Just of my time there.
Yeah. Making memories over at the Franklin Mint.
Yeah. What a time. What a time to be alive. And what a game chess is. Asked and answered.
We did it, Hal. We cleaned the slate with the help of dozens of our dearest friends who have guested on the show. A couple of great, huge celebrities that we've been fans of since we were kids that have appeared on the show. Some people who are like brothers and sisters to us, and some people who are just people that we are in awe of professionally and personally. And it runs the gamut, the guests that have come on this show. And 500 episodes, man.
Yeah. Incredible.
I love you, brother.
I love you too. Thank you to everybody who took time to be on the show, whether you're on the 500th or not. We appreciate you. And thank you, a special thank you to everybody who recorded a topic and sent it in. We really appreciate it. It was such a surprise to hear each and every one of your voices. And
so
thank you
great.
to all the people who listen and keep the show going. You're the reason why we're still doing it. If nobody listened, there'd be no point in doing it. We would just get together for lunch every once in a while.
Yeah. And still do this, but just without microphones.
Right.
We wouldn't get through nearly as many topics. We got through a lot of topics tonight.
We sure did. I think
we
the
did.
slate is finally clean. This might be our last episode. There might not be anything. Oh, no, wait.
I don't think there's anything left.
Other things to talk about.
You know what? I think, Hal, you're right. I think there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or
you can always reach us on social media at We Got This Podcast, except for Instagram. We're at We Got This Show on there. And our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/We Got This Podcast. Come hang out there. Talk about your favorite moments from the last 500 episodes. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, who put all of this together and then put it all together again for you to listen to. Thank you. We've said kind things about him up top. They all hold true, even.
Still apply.
At this point. Still apply.
Yeah.
They continue to apply and will apply for the foreseeable future. Thank you also to researcher Kate McManus, who's helped out so much over the years. And also graphic designer Uri Kelman, who came up with our logo that we still use today. And QA engineer Jen Alba, a close friend who used to listen to every episode before you did to make sure there were no mistakes. And
that's right.
Part of show lore. as a result.
And thank you, of course, to our musicians who both appeared with their actual voices tonight, Mike Furman and Jonathan Dinerstein, for our theme song and score, respectively, and for everything they've done through the years for this show, including their contributions tonight. To them, we say thank you. And we say also to you, the people of the world, 500 episodes, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. My gosh, almost a decade of doing this show. And to all of the people of the world out there who've been listening and been a part of this show from the very beginning or whenever you jumped in. Thanks for being part of the Facebook group. Thanks for being part of just the listening audience and being here with us through this whole thing. We promise we're going to keep making more of them if you keep coming and listening. Because like Hal said, you're the reason we do this. We wouldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. This is one big hug from us to you, as we say, for the 500th time. And it means no less than it did every single other time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun, a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.